Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 77 of the Excellent Gaming Podcast. After a long hiatus and in what has been a year of very few episodes, we are back and we have some episodes in the pipeline. So hopefully there won't be another long break for a little while. But here with me today, I have my frequent returning co-host, Jimmy is here. And then first time guest, I didn't actually want you to say hello, James. I'm just playing.
I don't matter anyways. The guest matters.
No, you matter. You always matter to me, James.
Thanks,
First time guest. I'm excited to have him here. We had been planning this for a few months, and because summer was just nuts, it took me way too long to get this going. But he's from the Daily Beating YouTube channel and the Generations Behind podcast, which means with his appearance, I have completed the Infinity Gauntlet of Generations Behind members to be on the Excellent Gaming Podcast. Anyway, Zach, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me. I'm a fan of the show. I listen every time you post, and I'm excited to be on the other side of the mic this time.
Hey, so. I appreciate you listening, and I'm glad to finally have you here. It took too long. My goal was I had Tyler on at the end of the year last year, and in my mind, I was going to have Craig on, because I talked to him pretty early in the year. I was going to have him on and then have you on and have had you both on before even March came around. And well, here we are in September. So,
I get it. I take a lot of prep and warning to get to me. It's understandable.
Yeah. All of the people I had to go through to finally talk to you.
I know.
Oh man. So how's your guys' summer been?
Hot.
Yeah. Well, you're in Texas, right? So
yeah, I'm in Texas. It was today. It's September. Early September when we're recording this. It was 103 today.
Jeez.
So it was super cool.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, not really though.
Not really at all.
Not cool at all. Yeah, it's still in the 80s here, which for us is hot.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it to get down to the 60s again. I know that sounds pathetic when you're talking about Texas still being in the hundreds, but yeah,
I totally get it. Like your 60 is my 80, and I want nothing more than it to be 80 degrees here.
Oh yeah,
that's fair.
I still have my air conditioning unit because we have a portable one that we pull out every summer, and it's still hooked up, and it still goes 24/7 until the temperature starts falling below 70 on the regular. I have to have that thing hooked up because I do not like being hot and sweaty.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, my AC unit is kind of struggling today. Like it's 80 in the house, but it's like I have the AC set to like 71, so it's not working. So we turned it off and put a couple portable ones in places around the house just so the cats don't die, and so I don't die.
Yeah. Whatever happened to James, we don't care, but the cats have to live.
Yeah, that they're of prime importance in our household. We all know that. That's Kuma and Tanuki. They're the ones that matter most.
True.
So we'll keep them alive, and we'll.
Such good names for cats.
You like?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're wondering, yes, Tanuki's inspiration is from Tanuki Mario in Super Mario Brothers 3. So,
not the animal, not the Japanese name for raccoon.
Not the Japanese. Yeah. Although the name is spelled like the Japanese word. But, yeah.
So before we get into because it's Zach's first time, we're gonna do a little questionnaire with him so that everybody can get to know him a little bit. But I didn't talk to James about this at all before, so sorry, James. But before we started, I just want to talk about PAX briefly, because this last weekend was PAX West here in Seattle, and it's an event I always look forward to going to. And year to year, its quality can differ. It's not like before the pandemic where every year was gold. We've had some weak years since COVID. But overall, I felt like this was a good year. Nintendo had a huge presence this year. Huge presence. And the only one of the big three to even be there.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to me that Xbox just no-shows basically when they're clearly number 3 in the race, if you want to call it that anymore. And they're based in Seattle, a lot like Nintendo. Like, what are we doing? Like, make an appearance, guys. Phil Spencer, I want to see you walking around so I can just like rub shoulders with you, not in a weird way. Just be like, hey, that's Phil Spencer. But
I doubt he just walks the showroom floor,
yeah,
even if he's there
with all the average Joes.
Yeah, I never saw Reggie just walking the floor. So
yeah, that's probably smart. There's probably some creepy fans, Phil Spencer fans that would love that.
But it was a good year. It was it's always busy. It didn't feel like one of the more packed years, though the lines were still capped everywhere. But just briefly, I felt like I would talk about a few of the games I played. Me and my friends that carpooled with me, we went really early to get in line to do the Resident Evil Requiem demo. Because I knew it was going to cap. Because Capcom, every time they have a game, the line caps super early. Like last year, Monster Hunter Wild capped like early, and then their line was so long that they had it capped for the day, like at the beginning of the day. And I wasn't sure what this was going to be like, so we got there really early, and we ended up being in line, and we still had to wait in line for an hour. But compared to what some people did, it wasn't too bad. So I was able to play that, and it was perfectly scary, which is what you want from a Resident Evil game. And I was gonna bring it to show, but I forgot. But I got a cool Penny Arcade pin for playing it too, so that's going in the collection. And
I don't, dude. Not to interrupt you. I don't know why Capcom doesn't do what Nintendo did this time. And I know Nintendo is trying to advertise the Nintendo Switch 2, but like Nintendo went clearly budget light on the aesthetic, and they just put a butt ton of consoles right next to each other, like what felt like hundreds, probably more like dozens, but like. They had not just a warp pipe line for people who got like their reservations in early, but they also had a standby line too. And so I'm fairly confident that if you came wanting to play like all the Nintendo games, except for Silksong, which only had one booth with 4 consoles for some amazing reason.
And apparently it was a lottery too. Like they didn't just let people line up for it. Like you got picked randomly. Like I don't know how that worked, but
there are people lining up with the purpose of wanting to play Silksong, and they get to the front of their line. They're like, "Oh, so I'm going to play Silksong." Like, "Oh, sorry, you weren't selected." Like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know Nintendo just for Kirby Air Riders and Pokemon Legends EA, they had. Well, actually, I don't know how many they had for Air Riders, but for Pokemon Legends, the employee I was talking to in line said they had 54 consoles set up just for the Legends demo. That's pretty crazy. So like that's a lot. And then like I said, that was just for Legends. I think Kirby had at least that many, if not more.
I feel like I prefer that to them making, I don't know, like at the same time, PAX to me is like synonymous with like really flashy, elaborate designs, like setups, that are really artsy and just like kind of wow you, good for picture taking and stuff. But like this is way better if you're like all about wanting to try the new games and getting the word out. Like Capcom is so big, it doesn't really matter. They can do whatever they want. But it would be kind of cool if they had the setups, but also something like that, like a standby and like a warp pipeline or something like that, because people want to play the Capcom games. It's kind of what I'm getting at. But
yeah, Capcom did have a line for media that was separate, and as I was standing there, and like one or two people would come in. And getting that line, I was like, man, what's that line? Like, I want to be in that line. So I asked, and they were like, oh, that's for media, for like press and stuff. I was like, son of a gun, I have a podcast. Does that?
You didn't get any credentials for the X Button Gaming podcast?
Yeah, you're like, do you know who I am?
Yeah,
I am Mr. X Button.
I am so popular.
I'm a big deal. Okay,
I'm kind of a big deal
in the Western Washington area.
Yeah, and maybe just specifically in this area of Tacoma. Yeah. So you played Kirby, right?
I did.
Yeah. What do you think? I didn't get a chance to play Kirby.
It was a frustrating play for me. Okay, mostly because I'm an idiot and because I never played the first Kirby Air Riders. But like, me at the same time, they pit you against other players, and there's like multiple phases where you're like setting up your Air Rider for like, I don't know what they're actually called. And then they pitch you against other players in these mini games, and I couldn't figure out how to move it very well, and so I just kept getting like 7th and 8th place against these randos, and I was just like, I am better than this. As a competitive person, I was just like, it was driving me crazy, and I kept like looking at the people, the employees that are supposed to be helping you with the game, like, what am I doing wrong here? Like,
yeah, they're laughing at you.
They're laughing at you.
Yeah.
Sakurai was up above just shaking his head in disbelief.
Yeah. These guys are like, man, this guy's embarrassing. Meanwhile, I'm hiding my X Button on my X Button t-shirt because I don't want to make us look bad, Like, oh boy, this is embarrassing.
What is that? But I don't want to ever see X Button again.
But regardless of that, I got the hang of it a little bit towards the end. It is very frenetic, very crazy, and it feels like a Sakurai game. It feels like it reminds me a lot like of Smash Run in the 3DS Super Smash Brothers game. How you like there's like a setup phase where you build up your fighter and then you go into the ring basically. I don't know. It just feels very Sakurai. It feels fun. I don't know how much it sold me on wanting to get the game. I probably was going to get it anyways because I'm a big Sakurai fan and, just in place of Smash. But it was a fun play. It was a fun play. And it seemed like everybody else that was good at it was really enjoying it. So I think there was a skill issue for sure. But yeah, I think it looks very well designed and put together. And obviously it runs okay. So.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Yeah, it does.
Did y'all watch the 45-minute direct on that game? Sakurai was just going to like tiny details on Kirby Air Riders for like 45 minutes.
That was crazy. I was like, how are they going to make a direct for 45 minutes about Kirby Air Riders? And I was like, well, they did it. And I was actually intrigued the whole time.
Yeah. Sakurai, if nothing else, he's very good at talking about his games.
Yeah.
Getting you excited for him.
Oh, for sure.
And playing against himself in expert fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so you played the Pokemon Legends demo too, yeah?
I did, and needless to say, massive Pokemon fan. I was more invested in this, but I honestly really enjoyed it for what it was worth. More of like a real-time, like, I guess, action RPG feel.
Mm-hmm.
Simple in practice, but like you were using like actual moves. There's a 4-move setup with like the 4 buttons on your controller. And, in standard Pokemon turn-based, it's 4 moves. Felt pretty similar. Just like, I don't know, moving around while you're switching your Pokemon. And it was actually played pretty fun, I will say. And it made me more excited for the game.
I have a question. When you're playing, do you move as the Pokemon or move as the trainer?
You move as the trainer.
Okay.
You move as the trainer. So I feel like it's somewhat similar to Legends Arceus in that you can get damaged as the trainer, and I think if you do to some point, you get knocked out, and so you basically start over as a team, essentially. But also your Pokemon can get knocked out too, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked Legends Arceus a lot, and this is what's nice about this is it doesn't feel like it's just a cut and paste version of Arceus in a new area. Like I'm going to use the term evolution, I guess, but like the natural trajectory of the game has moved forward. Like it feels more fluid. It definitely doesn't. Arceus did a good job of feeling old because it was supposed to be like the beginning of Pokemon training and stuff like that. And like it kind of felt that way. This feels like you're in an established Pokemon world again, but with like James said, like a live real time battle system. And it was pretty fun. Like I enjoyed it. And then they also have like the mega battles are like straight up boss battles.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like every mega battle that you do, but in this case, like you're fighting a mega Absol, and as you're fighting him, you have a Lucario, and when you do damage to him, very little, he'll drop orbs so that you can mega your Pokemon. And then once you get that meter filled up, you can then mega your Pokemon, and then that's when it can actually be a battle. But you have to once again prevent yourself from being hit, because if you get knocked out, the battle, like the person gets knocked out, the battle ends and you have to start over. So
yeah, it is interesting because like, I don't know, like if you imagine watching Pokemon, like the anime, like in these battles, generally, like when they're official, the trainers are always in this like raised platform or this spot where they're like safe from the action, like, and they're down there just giving commands to their Pokemon that are fighting in real time. So I think they're trying to capture something like that, except in this case, you're the trainer and you're basically in the middle of the arena amongst the action, trying to avoid it to some degree while also like giving commands to your Pokemon. And honestly, like, yeah, it was a pretty brief demo. Maybe not that brief because they did show you 2 ways to play, but yeah, I liked it. I did like it. I feel like people are going to receive it pretty well. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, like I said, I liked Arceus, so I was already looking forward to the concept of this. I already had it pre-ordered and everything. But having played it, I'm looking forward to it more, which is always a nice thing. I think it's definitely I think people are gonna be happy with it because I just feel like they just improved upon the formula of Arceus a lot. So, yeah. And then as far as like other demos, like I played a few indie games and some other things that were fun. Only other thing I'm going to mention is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on the Switch 2 looks and plays amazing. Like it is the way. There's no reason if you haven't played it before that this couldn't be your first time playing it. Like I think they did a great job, at least with the demo that they had there, which is just of the first fight at the very beginning of the reactor with you and Barrett, against whatever the robot's called. But very smooth. Probably looks better than it did on PS4, I would say. Like, maybe not as good as PS5, but it looks fantastic still. Like, this will be a great way to play it. I'm buying it. I'm going to buy it again and play it again. This will be the third time I own the game. Like, and I'm perfectly content with that. I love this game.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to play it all portably, just for the gimmick of having it on a portable this time. So
that's my plan too, because I feel like to rationalize the fact that I'm buying it a third time, playing it on my Switch will help me. Like, actually on the go will help me rationalize that. So definitely plan on it. I'm so stoked. I love this game. So
yeah, I'm gonna buy it. If for nothing else, to keep Chris happy, because I know he wants me to play it really bad. But I am really glad to hear that it seems like it runs really well, because we, the things we've been hearing about other like third-party games like Elden Ring is a little sad to hear, and I hope that gets fixed and patched up. But
yeah,
I guess we'll see.
They had Elden Ring there as well. I didn't play the demo. I didn't really even observe much of the people playing it, but I've heard that too. Like, articles I've read online have said that what people played at Gamescom was pretty left something to be desired, I guess. But
what's sad is, from what I understand, Elden Ring runs perfectly fine on a Steam Deck, but FromSoft is pretty notorious for their games being iffy on the performance side, especially early on. But they're not known for their technical specs. Like, they're known for their design, their gameplay. But
their design and gameplay are spot on. So. Yeah. Any other demos you feel like talking about, James, that you played?
I played this one in the indie section area. I played this one like third-party shooter, or a third-person shooter, I should say, called Swap Meet. I don't know if you walked by that or not.
I saw it. Yeah.
It's really goofy looking, and it's like the shooter where you're shooting baddies and they drop, like, for lack of better words, their appendages and like limbs, aka their meat, and then you pick up their meat, and then you have different meats that you swap on yourself, and they're different weapons and different skills, and it all sounds really graphic, and I guess to some degree it is, but it's like very cartoony and cell shaded, and that was the only other game that kind of stood out to me. I had a good time with it. There's some kind of like live demo they're going to be doing or something, so look it up if you want. I don't know. It's like, to me, it reminded me of like a cel-shaded shooter from the GameCube era, but like meets Fortnite. So that may turn off some people, but I still had a good time. So
you can emote with these people's appendages.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that, but that'd be great. I didn't demo a lot of games. I more walked around and people watched, and
yeah,
I agree. I think the PAX generally was a pretty good PAX for this era of PAX, I would say.
Yeah, it went by super quick, and at the end of the day, I realized I didn't do as much as I felt like I did. I definitely spent time at like booths looking at stuff, and like whether it be booths where you could buy stuff or just watching people play demos, but I didn't play as much as I usually feel like I do.
Yeah. Oh, and geez, Magic had that booth where they were giving away all this Spider-Man merch, dude. Like, just like literally waves of it, like hour after hour. Like, we walked in, I didn't even realize this. They gave away issue like 965 or something, which is like where the actual series is at right now. They gave variant comic books away of the actual Amazing Spider-Man comic. Yeah. So because I was with Hannah, I got 2 of them, and they were bagged and boarded and everything, and it had like this cool version of Peter Parker with a Fantastic Four suit on and this paper bag over his head. Like, it's really funny looking. But yeah, just there was cooler swag than I was expecting.
Yeah. And they gave away pre-made decks of cards of the Spider-Man card, and they even gave away promo cards too at the end of the day. Like, they went
all out, dude.
They were trying to get people to play this Spider-Man expansion or whatever it's called. I guess it's not expansions, but they
had a cool like Daily Bugle setup where they had little like newspaper like stands, and you open them and you pull out like a Daily Bugle fold up
newspaper.
Yeah, the newspaper, and like you unfold it, and it's like a play mat, and it has all these like how to play on. Like, it was super cool. Like, I'm not really interested as a in the game myself, but like man, that would sell me on it for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've never played Magic, but I bought a ton of the Final Fantasy Magic cards. Still haven't played it, but I have a ton of them.
Yeah.
So I went a little ham. and then didn't end up pulling like anything like super cool looking, like or like more rare or whatever cards. Then I got frustrated because that's just my luck with packs, and then I finally stopped because I'd spent too much money. Okay, let's get into the episode though. Now that we've rambled about packs for 15 minutes.
It's just that time of the year, like best time of the year, man. PAX, football, literally football season started today. Like you can't shoot down my spirits, man. I'm on cloud 9 right now.
Oh, I can shoot it down. How can I ruin this for you? God, Keldrick has been talking about freaking fantasy football and football for the last couple weeks. For anybody listening that doesn't know him, he's one of the people I play games with the most. So like, I hear him talk a lot. I'm so sick of hearing about football already, and the season started today. I'm like, God, yeah, you know.
Your life until February. Get used to it.
I know, I love it. And just one more side note before we get into the get to know our guest portion. After this break, I've decided going forward, I'm going to change the format of the episodes of the podcast. And I don't know why I'm saying this because I don't even know what that means yet, but it's going to be a lot more surprises because I'm just going to go with the flow a little bit more. Like even this episode is going to be formatted differently than we've ever done before. And I think I think I've gotten sick of it being too structured as far as the format. Still going to be like a main topic every episode, whatever that is, but I might change a few things here and there, until I fine tune things, but it's the wonders of it being my podcast. I can do what I want. And then if people don't like it, I can adjust.
I support this change wholeheartedly.
Well, thank you, James.
No, you know.
Okay, so like I said at the outset, this is Zach's first time on the podcast. So I want to give everybody an opportunity who isn't familiar with who Zach is and the platforms that you can find him on. I want to give them a chance to get to know him a little bit better. So I have the same general questions that I ask any new guest. So let's go ahead and get started, Zach, and ask what your earliest gaming memory is.
So I was thinking about this because I've listened to your other episodes where you have other people come on. So I had like a cheat sheet of the questions you're going to ask me. So I already knew what to prepare for. Like everyone's got the memories of like playing their Game Boy, like in the car when it's dark, you're like passing street lights and you're just catching like 3 frames at a time. But the first memory that I think like that comes to mind for me, I remember I had a really close friend in like early elementary school, like kindergarten through 2nd grade until he moved. And we both played GameCube a lot together. GameCube came out when I was 5, I think.
Okay.
And I remember I got Super Smash Brothers Melee. Whenever it came out, must have been a year or two later. It must have been like 6 or 7. I can't remember exactly how old it was. Anyway, not the point. I was at this friend's house playing Smash Melee at his house, and his dad found the box and saw that it had a T for teen on it.
Oh no!
And freaked out. He came running into the room. He's like, "What are y'all playing? Super Smash Brothers? It's T for teen." He turned it off.
Oh.
Took the game, put the game in the box. Y'all can't play this. And I remember I had to get my mom to go talk to him and convince him it was just goofy, Mario punching Luigi kind of stuff. And then he let us play it. But that moment stuck out to me when I was trying to think of a memory of how silly that sounds in retrospect.
That's one of those things that'll stick with you. It sounds like my mom a little bit. My mom was kind of like that. And one of the most embarrassing moments in my life was I was probably about 15. So I was a teenager. And I remember we were at Walmart and my mom had said I don't remember. I'd done something for her and she's like, "I'll buy you a game. It's got to be in this price range." So I'm like, all right. I wanted Star Wars. It was Star Wars Rebel Strike, which was the 3rd Rogue Squadron game. And we watched Star Wars. I had plenty of Star Wars games. So I tell the person, I want that game. They pull it out. They take it up to the counter. My mom's waiting there. She sees that it's rated teen and throws this big, "No, you can't play that. Let's I'm like, what the heck? I'm so embarrassed because the lady's standing there and I'm obviously not a little kid. And I'm just like, "Mom, I have plenty of Star Wars. What are you talking about?" Oh, my mom drove me nuts.
I am a teen.
This is literally
I am
me.
a teen. This is for me.
This is not a mature rated game. What is your problem? Parents.
On that same note, I kind of have, this isn't my first memory, but I do have memories of I got into Call of Duty on the Xbox 360 era when all my friends started playing. I remember my mom having to like be with me to like buy those games because I was under 17. I remember her like having to go to GameStop with me and like tell them I could buy the
It's
game.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The other day, after PAX, we stopped at a GameStop. I had my nephew with me, and he is 17, but he wanted to buy something, and it was rated mature, and I was like, it was near Automata. I was like, whatever, like, I don't think you need to ask your mom, like, it's fine. Like, this game is fine. But I forgot that they do that. And, like, I worked at GameStop for forever, and the lady was like, I do need to see your ID, and I wasn't standing right next to him, and he was like, what? Like, and she's like, yeah, I can't sell it to you, and I was like, oh, whoops. Oh, I was like, yeah, he can get it. It's fine. So
That's
random.
funny.
I'm like proud of employees for actually trying to enforce that. Like I would think that they wouldn't, but there you go.
When I remember when I worked at GameStop, and it was about the time Grand Theft Auto 4. I remember like telling parents like, this game is rated mature. You know, this little kid's bringing it up, like 5, 6 years old. And I'm not going to tell people how to parent, but I'm not sure that a 5 or 6 year old should be playing Grand Theft Auto. So I do say like, this game is rated mature. Like, it's pretty intense. There's strip clubs, there's hookers, like, it's pretty bad. And the parent be like, oh, it's okay. He's a good kid. He's not going to go to those parts of the game. I'm like, he's going to go to those parts of the game first. Like, I guarantee it. Oh, man. Parents.
Funny.
It's funny.
All right. So what are some of your other favorite hobbies? So obviously you're a big gamer, but what are some other things that you like?
Yeah, so James just mentioned football season. I am a big sports guy, football being my favorite.
Nice. Let's go.
So the Dallas Cowboys are playing tonight. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I was just gonna ask you. This must have been a difficult one for you to step away for.
Dang.
No,
Like,
it's
the
fine. It's
game's
fine.
going on right now.
That's dedication.
it's
I
fine.
appreciate you, Zach.
I watched them up to halftime. I'm good. And I'm not like a huge Cowboys fan. I'm more of a college football fan. Cowboys are the team I root for in the NFL. But yeah, I'm more of a college football fan. I love my favorite thing is like Saturday mornings having like 4 games on YouTube TV and just like being a total degenerate for like 8 hours watching college football.
James understands.
It's getting to the point though where it's like, when I was college age, it's like, oh, these guys are just like me, and now I'm like getting mad at these 18-year-olds. I'm like, okay, maybe I got to take a step back here, reflect a little bit. But,
Grow up. Why did that flag happen?
Yeah.
You're such a pansy.
Outside of just general sports watching, one thing I'm kind of lapsed on this. I haven't done it in a while, but I have a quadcopter. I really like to fly my quadcopter, take pictures and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And I feel like though it's just kind of like another way to play video games than playing with a controller, looking at a screen and just controlling it. So I think it's the video game itch there. Basically playing a first-person flying video game. Yeah.
Zach, I listened to your guys' most recent episode, and I'm not one necessarily for regurgitating content, but can you please describe to the listeners the difference between a drone and a quadcopter? Because that really it had me cracking up, honestly.
Okay, so I think it was a teacher I had who originally said this to me, but he hates using the word drone to describe a quadcopter because a drone has the connotation of like a military weapon, like, blowing up people's homes and all that stuff. And a quadcopter, it's like, oh, okay, a quadcopter, I get it, flies around, that's for fun, that's for taking pictures. But a drone sounds bad. Like if you say I like drones, watch out for that guy. But
I got my drones.
yeah,
That's pretty great. So drones is like military recon, and quadcopter is like for hobbyists.
That's the way I like to separate it. If you Google like buy drone, they're gonna bring up the quadcopters, But if I'm talking about it, I try to say quadcopter because it's more clear what you're talking about, I guess.
I respect that.
Yeah, it's and you like Legos too, right?
Oh yeah, you can see in the frame I got my Mario Lego. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
The only thing stopping me from buying more Legos is I have no place to put them. I have Lego instructions on my desk right now. I'm not even an F1 fan, but I got these like stupid like mystery box F1 cars. I've been buying these just because I like building Legos, but I don't even watch F1. I'm just like, ooh, different colored race car. I should buy these.
Cool.
As a sports fan, you should maybe try F1. Like you might be surprised by how much you like it.
I've been told by so many people. My brother's a huge F1 guy. I have people I work with that are huge F1 people, and I'm sure I would like it. I just haven't got around to dipping my toe in it yet.
That's fair. Oh, and just one more thing. You said you're a sports fan, college football fan from Texas. Does that make you a Longhorns fan?
Texas A&M. I
Texas
actually
A&M.
kind of despise the Longhorns.
Okay, because if you said you were a Longhorns fan, I was going to refer to the Washington Huskies versus Longhorns playoff game a couple years ago because that was a great moment for us,
Oh
not
yeah,
for them so much.
I was the biggest Washington Huskies fan in the world that day. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, then I'll root for you guys and the 12th man, as you guys had to, a little weird connection our fan bases have.
Yep,
The Seattle Seahawks used to be the 12th man, is how we used to term it, and you guys like sued us or something, and now we're the 12s.
Hey, if there's one thing that Texas A&M likes more than pretending to be good at football, it's money and making sure they get their money. So the 12th man, they don't play around with that. They're gonna. So
that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. So at the beginning, I mentioned that you do have a YouTube channel, Daily Beating, and then you're part of the Generations Behind podcast. So let's just talk about that for a few minutes. What encouraged you to start your YouTube channel and join the podcast with other guys?
So I'll start with the YouTube channel first. So I've been watching YouTube for basically as long as I can remember. I've been watching video game content on YouTube since, I don't know, middle school. I mean, I was watching like Call of Duty. Like, do you remember like back in the day, people would do like Call of Duty, like gameplay commentary. They'd like just post a video of them and like talk over it. I watched those like all the time. Then I got really into Minecraft YouTube. And then I got into like, video game podcasts and just the current, world we're in, a video game YouTube stuff. So I've just always been watching YouTube. It's been my main form of like entertainment, more so than even like TV for most of my life. And I always told myself I wanted to do that myself because I like talking about games. I like the platform and like how the video, feedback and stuff. So I always said I wanted YouTube, and I was putting it off for years and years and years. And finally one day I just kind of said, like, if I keep putting it off, it's never going to happen. So I just started trying one day. I've been having fun with it. I mean, I don't really have a particular like goal or aim for the channel. I just kind of like post what I want when I want, long form, short form, review, whatever, just kind of, I want to make my main thing I try to make videos that I would want to watch.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not trying to make popular videos like that. I'm obviously happy if videos do well, but I'm trying just to make things I enjoy making. And that's kept it fun for me. So
yeah, I respect that. And I can tell when watching your videos, like it is very much so stuff that you care about. Like you do your videos where you talk about what you've played for the month. Like I always look forward to those because I like to hear your opinions on the different games you played. And in the videos where you talk about the specific games, like you just did one for Dragon Drive, really good. Like you do really good stuff. Like I love your content.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I just like to ramble about video games, so it's a good outlet,
So do I. 77 episodes worth now.
Heck yeah.
Would you recommend Dragon Drive? Because I've been thinking about, just because I'm a big basketball fan, I kind of want to get, even though I know it's probably going to feel bad, like I kind of want it. I don't know.
It's like a hard it's like, what are you going into it for? Like if you're wanting to specifically play a mouse mode game, this is like the best you're going to get for now. But like the controls are pretty frustrating because you are pushing, you have to pretend like you're literally using a wheelchair, how you're pushing and pulling, and how you think that would work. It's very tiring. It's very finicky. It can be very difficult. But once you kind of get the feel for it, I had a good time with it. But honestly, I had more fun playing by myself and just doing like the time trial challenges than I had playing the basketball thing with people. Because people online they don't pass the ball. They just kind of like, people would just get a rebound and they would just go across the court and just like chuck up a three. It's like, what are we doing? Like,
hey, wow, they must watch the NBA. They're playing hero ball right there.
And another downside, I played it all by myself, but if you do play with friends, Nintendo being Nintendo, there's no guarantee you can be on your friend's team. You can be in the same lobby as them, but they'll just like randomly assign teams. You cannot say, I want to be on my friend's team.
Dude.
Unless you pick a friend's lobby, but then you have to have 5 other friends who are playing Dragon Drive with you, which I feel like nobody has that.
I love Nintendo, but why do they do this stuff? That was Splatoon 2. Like that's why I stopped playing Splatoon 2 because I remember me and James would be on the phone or on Discord, whatever it was, trying to match up our timing of joining a game at the exact same second to hope we would be on the same team. It was 2018. Like we shouldn't have had to do that. Like it's so wild.
That was wild, dude.
Nintendo. I can like trying to understand Nintendo is impossible. I can like try to logic my way through like, okay, they want the game to be as fun for as many people as possible, so they're probably terrified of like 3 adults getting onto the game and like just trashing all these kids who are playing with random. So like, well, what if we just force everyone to be random and everyone can have an equal playing field? That's the way I try to get in their head. But at the same time, I'm like, just let me play the game how I want to play the game. Like getting beat by randoms online is like kind of what online gaming is. You get beat sometimes, you beat up people sometimes. It's gonna happen.
That's how you get good, especially as a kid. You know, when the kids playing those people that are better than them, they keep playing it. Eventually, they do end up being better. Like that's what kids do. Like I don't know, Nintendo, stop it.
Yeah, they're very very Nintendo about it, but I mean it's no to expect with them. So
yeah, true. Unfortunate. So if you had one of your what's the word I'm looking, episodes, not episodes, one of your videos, one video on your YouTube channel that you were to say, like, tell the listeners to watch, what would you suggest they watch to try to get them into your channel?
Oh man,
I know I put you on the spot with that one.
Yeah, so I mean, I like to review games. Sometimes it's one game. Sometimes I like to do just like a group of games all in one that are somewhat related. One of my favorite series of videos I have on my channel is probably my NSO videos, where I just like play a block of NSO games and like review, like kind of like a retro review. Sometimes it's games I've played, sometimes it's new games to me that I've never experienced. So I have a few of those that I really enjoy making. They're just like themed down. I'll pick a system and I'll play like 8 or 9 NSO games and I'll talk about each of them individually. I did a couple of those for the N64, one for the Game Boy Advance, and a couple for the Game Boy. I want to do one for the GameCube, but right now there's just like 4 or 5 games. So I'm going to wait for a couple more on there. Yeah, I'm going to do one of those. But I would say those are the ones I would say I'm most fond of and most proud of, I guess.
Yeah.
Video.
I've watched them. They are good. So if you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, it's Daily Beating. And then, look at one of those videos, the NSO review episodes. Really good content.
Thank you.
And then, so what about the Generations Behind podcast? So for those listening, Craig was on the last episode. He was part of that podcast. And then Tyler's the third member, and he's been on a few episodes late last year. So Zach is part of that podcast.
Yep. So that came up. So Craig and Tyler. So I know them through Bird Dog Gaming. I've met Bird Dog in real life. I know him through we have a mutual friend. We're both close friends with a person who introduced us. So I know Bird Dog in real life. And I got to his channel, his Discord, all that. That's how I've met you and Craig and Tyler and all them. So Craig and Tyler were trying to start a podcast, and they were looking for a third wheel. And then Christian was just kind of like, "Hey, Zach might do it," and then I was like, "Hey, I'll do it."
Yeah, here I am.
And then they came my way. They asked me to do it. It was fun because like I knew Craig and Tyler, and like I was friendly towards them. I talked to them a little bit, but yeah, it was fun. We just kind of like one day just like started doing a podcast together, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed getting to know them, and it feels we've grown a friendship through that. I've really enjoyed, but I was just a third wheel. I was just there lurking in the background, and Christian pointed them towards me, and now we've done like 30 episodes. So.
Yeah, I like the podcast a lot. One of the things Craig told me was like you just kind of mentioned was that he didn't really know you well before you started doing the podcast. And I would have never guessed it because it seemed like when you guys started, you were just 3 friends kind of BSing your way, talking about things that you like. And for me, that's probably my favorite type of content. Like I like listening to people just talk. And I don't mind. I like it when there is a set subject, but I don't mind just listening to people talk about their hobbies, specifically video games. But I don't know, like that's what I like about this podcast is I like just having friends on, people that I can become friendly with, and just kind of talking and just sharing a mutual love for something. And you guys do that really well. So yeah.
Yeah, I concur. You guys got a good rapport. Really easy to listen to. It's fun listen.
I appreciate that because sometimes I get worried. Like we do love to ramble on that show. I have it's like a running joke with us. We'll talk after the episode, like, "Oh, we got to the main topic an hour and 45 minutes in today." So,
well, hey,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just X Button Gaming is famous for going way, way, way over whatever our scheduled time allotment was.
Yeah.
Yep.
We ramble a lot. I love, because you guys will talk about the most random things sometimes, like rating your peanut butters or your mayonnaise, which is really gross, but also like it makes it makes me laugh. Like ranking mayonnaises according to the different.
I didn't realize how
places.
passionate Craig was going to be about mayonnaise until he just sprung that on us. And Craig's such a funny podcast host too, because he's very just like willy-nilly. We'll just be talking kind of like how we were before the episode started, and then he'll just start recording. He won't tell anybody. If you watch the episode and we all like jump at every time, it's because we're just talking, and then Craig just starts recording. We just start going with no warning. So that always like really just gets your adrenaline going. You have to like, okay, like switch modes all of a sudden. But
no, it's a great podcast, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to you guys' next episode because I think it's a really good idea. The grab bag Sega Genesis NSO games. So if anybody is interested in, hearing, because it sounded like you guys tried to pick 3 that you'd never played before each.
Yeah, so we're trying to play 3 games each that we've never played, and we each picked a game for each other and ourselves. So I picked a game for me and Craig and Tyler, and vice versa for them. So I'm playing Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Great game.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very hard. Yeah. I'm like struggling with it a lot.
I love that game because I loved the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon when I was a kid, and all of the enemies you play are specifically from the cartoon, and some of them are never in, to my knowledge, or never in any of the Sonic games. Just
they're
the cartoon
so random,
characters.
And even for me, like seeing what Dr. Robotnik used to look like is kind of a flashback for me because he looks totally different than he does, like Dr. Eggman looks now.
Yeah, but I know he'll always be Dr. Robotnik to me.
Yeah.
I was hoping one of you guys would get Toe Jam and Earl. I was very disappointed at the end when nobody picked it. I was ready. I had my phone out. I was like, whoever gets it, I'm texting them. I'm gonna be like, we're playing online, and then nobody had it. And I just went and cried.
Completely honest, I was this close to literally saying for X Button Gaming and pick that game for one of them. I didn't do it. I was so close to pulling the trigger, but I did not do that. I apologize.
It's all right. It makes it easier for me because there's probably also a very large chance that whoever had it would be like, why does anybody like this game that much? And then I would have just been sad. So
yeah.
All right. So I let my phone close. Last question. So what are some of your favorite games? So we always say top 3, top 5, whatever, but just some of your favorite games. Give us a couple, however many you want.
Yeah. So I'll say in general, I like a pretty wide variety of games, in my opinion. Like I love JRPGs. I love like Souls games. And I love like platformers. If I had to just give my top 3, my third, I actually have a top 10 list on my laptop. I have like a running list I update.
Yeah.
My current top 3 is actually Super Mario Odyssey. I fell in love with that game. It is my favorite Mario game, my favorite platformer. The game it's just such a jolly game. It makes me so happy to play, I remember waiting out a quick story real quick. I remember waiting to buy that game at midnight from GameStop, and I remember calling ahead. I was like, hey, are y'all having a midnight release for Mario Odyssey? Like, I'm really excited. And he's like, yeah, we're having midnight release, whatever. I showed up to GameStop at midnight and there's no one there, and I was like, this is weird. This is a big game for there to be no one here. And then midnight comes around, doors locked, and I'm like, I can see they're in there, like through the windows. I'm like, can I knock? They just kind of like, I can see them look up at me, then like look away. So I call them, and I'm talking to them through the window. I can we're making eye contact. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, I'm here for the midnight release of Mario Odyssey. And they're like, oh yeah, we did that at 11. And I was like, 11? He's like, yeah, midnight Eastern. I was like, well, you didn't tell me that when I called you earlier. He's like, yeah, well, sorry. I was like, well, can I get it? And they're like, no, you have to come back tomorrow. So I said, okay. So I said, okay, well, what time do you open tomorrow? He's like, we open at 10. I said, I'll be there at 9, 10 Eastern. And then he just hung up on me. But then I went to Walmart and got it from Walmart because we had 24/7 Walmarts back then. I remember playing it all night.
RIP 24-hour Walmarts.
Yeah, but I love Mario Odyssey. But
great game.
My second favorite game of all time is actually Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft since like 2009, back on like the family computer in the living room. I remember the game was purchased through my older sister's credit card, and I remember they went through they changed the way accounts work. I don't know, 5 years ago. I think it was like when went from like Mojang to Microsoft, they started migrating accounts to like you had like a Microsoft account.
Yeah.
And there was some issue. I was trying to get my original account sent over because there was no email address tied to it. It was just like a username on like Mojang.com. So there's no email tied to it. And then like, okay, if you don't have an email, you have to have the credit card number you purchased it with. I was like, well, that was my sister's credit card from 2009 that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And they basically told me you're out of luck. So I had to
that hurts.
repurchase. I had to like repurchase Minecraft, which it's fine. I had it like 4 times. But
so did you still have access to your stuff though? Like from that?
Yeah,
old...
so it's weird. It's like I can still like launch the game on my laptop, but I don't think I can. I don't fully understand. It's weird because it goes to like a launcher, and sometimes it gets mad at me and tries to like. I just play on my Switch and my PlayStation now. I really don't play on my computer anymore because of that.
Yeah.
But I purchased the game like 5 times now. I remember when it came out on the Xbox 360, I got a bunch of my friends to play that original version. Yeah, I love Minecraft. It's probably my most played game of all time. If I sum up all the hours across all the versions, it's probably other than maybe like a middle school Call of Duty, it's probably the only game I've legitimately put 1,000+ hours into.
Yeah.
I've got lots of games with hundreds of hours, but Minecraft might be the only one with literally 1,000+. I've been playing it for a decade and a half.
Well, 2009 means you were like a really early adapter too. Like that's a long
Yeah,
time.
so like I mentioned earlier, I got into like Minecraft YouTube content like way back when I was watching people like build stuff, and I was like, I want to play this, and I've been playing it since the beta because it was in beta for like a notoriously long time.
Yeah.
It was a huge game. It was one of the biggest games in the world when it was in beta, and then yeah, so I've been playing that for over half my life now. So
Minecraft was one of those first things. I think we all have these things as we've gotten older, but Minecraft was one of the first things that made me feel old because when it came out, 2009, I was 22, and so it took a couple years before I really caught my attention, but I just didn't get it. Yep. And like I have played it now and I do appreciate it. I'm not creative. I notoriously I don't particularly care for Legos because I mean other than a set that I can follow instructions for, like I'm not creative. I make weird monstrosities that scare children because they make no sense. So like Minecraft doesn't appeal to me in that sense. But I remember being like 23, 24 and just being like, why did kids like this? Like, this is so weird. But I do get it now. But it was one of those first moments in my life where I was like, I felt a little old, where I was like, I don't get it. Like, I kind of always understood why kids liked things up until that point.
Yeah, and I was 13 when I was playing. I was a perfect age to pick it up, and the game's changed so much now. Like, it's more of like you can just play it you can roll credits in that game. There's like a last boss kind of thing.
That's
so you
cool.
can play it as more of just like a adventure game, RPG, like collect resources, build your base, and like kind of like create your own story around that. You don't have to just build like big, huge castles and super creative things. You can play it more like a adventure dungeon crawler kind of thing if you want to.
Yeah, I think it was around 2017 because I was already married. I remember going to a friend's house and he had Minecraft and we were looking for something to play and it was co-op. So we finally were like, yeah, let's just play it. And that was when I think that we did that. We were actually trying to follow the objectives, and then that was the first time I was like, okay, this is fun. Like I get this. It's when I'm not trying to build things and looking like a moron for making a square house that has no like design to it whatsoever. Like actually kind of fun. Like I did enjoy it once I finally understood that. But I think for a long time I was just like, I don't want to just do this, just build stuff. I suck at that.
Yeah, and the game has such a long life. It's funny. My nephew's 9 years old and he's super into Minecraft now. And he like whenever I see him, he's like telling me all about it and like correcting me. I'm like, hey pal, like I've been playing this literally longer than you've been alive. Yeah. He's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is how it works. I know how it works.
Oh, kids.
Yeah, he plays it on his Switch, and he likes to show me his little, like you called them, little square houses he builds, and I'm like, let's go. Good job.
That's fun. It's fun to be able to like share that with your family and stuff, the little kids. It's cool that the game's still popular. It's truly going to be one of those that transcends time, I think.
Oh yeah, it's like a whole. Obviously, the movie came out this year and did. I mean, there's merch. It's more than just a game now. It's a total like franchise IP, whatever you want to call it. It's a
yeah. Did you see the movie?
Funny enough, no. I've heard it was like I assumed that was going to be a terrible movie when I saw the trailers, but
Yeah.
apparently it was like it was kind of fun, you know.
Yeah,
I
I've heard
just,
it's good. I haven't watched it yet, but I will.
I just haven't got around to watching it.
I
But
like Jack Black.
yeah,
Him being in it's kind of like an automatic plus a little bit.
yeah. I'll eventually, on the grand scale of time, I will find time to watch that movie, but we'll see.
Yeah, I get it. That's the thing. Just making time sometimes when you have a lot of other stuff going on.
Yep.
All right, so what's number one?
So my number one, I feel like everyone has their own. I love hearing people's favorite games of all time because everyone has like, if you ask if you polled 100 people, like what's your top 10 games, you're gonna get a lot of like Ocarina of Times and Mario 64. It's like all these like big popular games, but I feel like everyone's number one game, they have like their own weird thing they love when like for whatever reason it connected with them. My number one game, and a game that I got super attached to and loved so much is actually Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Nice.
I got this game when I first was living by myself for the first time. So a little background, I love Fire Emblem. I played every release that's come west. It's my favorite series ever. And then when Three Houses came out, it was the first time I didn't have roommates. I wasn't living with my parents. I was in my own small apartment with nothing to do but play Fire Emblem for like 12 hours a day. And I put 400 hours in that game. I've played through the game like 8 times. I absolutely love it. I played every difficulty. Made up my own challenges. I did every route multiple times. It's just like a super special game. It's funny because I'd never played a Persona before. I have now, but at the time I never played it. And people were like, "This is just like Fire Emblem Persona. You'd totally be into Persona." I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll play Persona one day." And turns out I do like Persona. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I just love Three Houses. Music's great. I love the characters. And then the gameplay.
Yeah.
I like Fire Emblem. So
Yeah, it's a phenomenal game. I played a little bit of Conquest, I think, prior, but this was the first Fire Emblem that I played really, and played to completion at least, and I loved it. Like, it was a very easy. I don't remember how much I played, like 70, 80 hours, just to play the first campaign, and like never got bored, never like. It's one of those things where it's constantly in the back of my mind that I want to go back to it and play through the other 3 campaigns that I still haven't played yet. And I just always am putting it off because I have so many things I want to play, but I need to.
It's a hard it's a hard task because, like you said, it's like 80 hours a piece. So it's like, if you put 80 hours into a game, sometimes you just got to put it down and go play the next one. You can't.
But it is so good. It's very worthy of being somebody's favorite game of all time. And it's not something I say lightly because I would never want to judge somebody's favorite game. But it is one of those, like, I would 100%, like, I can see why it would be your favorite game of all time because it is just phenomenal. I think I had it in my top 3 favorite Switch games when we did that episode this year and that's how much I loved it. And I admit I haven't even given it enough time still to really appreciate the whole experience.
I am not a Fire Emblem guy. You listen to this podcast long enough, you'll hear me say it. I trash on Fire Emblem left and right, mostly for the fact that there's way too many Fire Emblem characters in Smash.
In Smash Brothers, there is. Admittedly, every day.
That's where my bitterness comes from, and I have tried to play plenty of Fire Emblem games, and they never really hooked me. Awakening did. For the first time, and then three houses. I don't think there's a person who's played Three Houses and not thought this is a good / great game. Like, even me, I loved Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I played, I think, the Black Eagle route, I believe, and it is a game I think about from time to time. Like, I would like to come back. I don't know if I will, but it's so I'm with you. Like, I love listening to people's top 10, 5, 3 favorite games of all time, and I think it's so interesting to me that now we're like in this era now where the Switch is, I guess, more or less like in the rearview mirror, but like now we're looking back, and a lot of people now have entries on their top 10 or top 5 favorite game lists that are from the Switch, and we're realizing
I have like 4 of them of my top 10 are Switch games.
Yeah, I do. I do. Like,
well, 2 of your top 3 were, so that says a lot about the strength of the Switch's lineup.
I'm just saying, like, we ranked our favorite Switch games, like, what, this year. We did an episode on it that I thought we did a pretty good job, I thought, and I loved it. Like, me, you, and Hannah had like different representatives from all over the library for the most part. We had some crossover, but like, Dude, the Switch library it's killer, man. And like, you could make a case for it being the best library of any console, and I wouldn't fight you on it. And like, we have to do that ranking at some point too. Like best video game library.
That would
period,
be
you know?
that'd be a hard.
That's a hard one to do, but I feel like you could have it.
Not to do the whole plugging my videos thing again, but I did do a video last year, I think, where I compared. What I did was I got all the major Nintendo franchises, and I got the best Switch entry and the best non-Switch entry, and I said if the Switch entry was better or not. Like trying to determine, like, make a point that the Switch has a good library, and it ended up being like more than a third of the 20 series I found. Like more than a third of them, I said the Switch entry was the best in the entire like lineage of all the consoles. And it was fun. Like just looking back at the games, the Switch was like constantly killer games, just for like 8 years nonstop.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, 100%. Like at that time period, especially from 2017 to 2020, was like there was no lack of really good first party stuff to play. It was phenomenal, a phenomenal run.
Banger, 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 left and right.
All right.
Yeah, I guess just I'll just list without saying anything about them. The rest of my
go
top
ahead.
10 is I mentioned.
Oh yes.
Number 10, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Love that game. Number 9, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. 8 is Pokemon Emerald.
Let's go.
7 is Smash Ultimate. It's the next
Nice.
Switch entry. 6 is Dark Souls 3, and 5 is Elden Ring. I love FromSoft games, and I feel like those are different enough to like have them both in the top 10.
Yeah.
But then at number 4, I have like, I'm not sure. It's Breath of the Wild and or Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know which one I like want to have as the representative there, but I love both those games so much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we've talked about that. They're the same organism, and yet they're entirely different people at the same time. You know, like you can't have one without the other, and they're different, and they have different goals. I feel like in each
like
entry.
Breath of the Wild keeps you on the ground, like running on foot more, so you get appreciation for the world. But Tears of the Kingdom is like just go have fun, goof around. But,
A lot to see in that game.
I love your list, dude. I love your list.
It's a good list.
thank you.
I like hearing like James said, I like hearing people's top 10s as well. Yeah, so thank you for sharing all that. Thank you for the time for preparing for those, taking the time to prepare for those questions. And yeah, like we mentioned too, if you haven't done so already, make sure to check out Zach's YouTube channel, Daily Beating, and check out the Generations Behind podcast. They're both easily worth your time. All right, so let's go ahead and move into. Before we get to the main topic, we're going to move into a special little episode of.
So what you been playing?
I pushed the wrong button. We're not doing that. We're doing. That's right. It's Power Hour time, baby. So James has prepared a Power Hour for us. And I thought this would be perfect for this because Zach is also a really big Nintendo guy. So I told James, prepare a good episode for Daily Beating.
Oh man, that's pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Don't fail.
I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna look at the cover of this issue of Nintendo Power, and you're gonna think, "Oh no, this is not gonna be that good." But I gotta say, this issue of Nintendo Power, there was lots of little tidbits, little factoids that I not only learned but became aware of, or I also unlocked some memories. Like this Nintendo Power, it's much more than just the cover. Let me show the cover to you, but it's very time appropriate. What we have right here is Nintendo Power. Volume 102, November 1997, with Brett Favre on the cover. So the feature article in this magazine is literally NFL Quarterback Club 98 versus Madden 64. So since the NFL kicked off today, I felt it was very appropriate to start with this issue. But it's much more than just football, guys. You will see. But
I hope so.
That is the cover. That is the cover right there, and it is good to know that Zach is a sports fan because he'll like some of the things we got to say. All right, so let's start with page 6. We're going to go to the section that honestly I haven't featured much in our Nintendo Power Hour. It is the Player's Pulse. I'm going to show you guys what these pages look like. Now, this is basically the section where readers and fans of Nintendo Power would mail in their letters, right? Mail in or email, because at this point there was limited internet capabilities in 1997. I think you probably had an AOL account, maybe if you had a computer, dial-up probably. It was kind of rough.
It was slow. You had to listen to that dial tone.
But something I want to do, Chris, and you tell me, we'll test this out right here, and we'll see how people like it. But what I'd like to do moving forward on Power Hour is read a submission from one of the readers on this issue, and then we're all going to react to it.
Okay.
Unfiltered, to a degree.
Unedited.
Okay, maybe edited, but unfiltered thoughts. This one stuck out to me, okay? Now, keep in mind, this is November 1997, so in terms of Nintendo, this is early N64, twilight years of Super Nintendo, and the Game Boy is... Actually, it's still... Because Pokemon comes out next year, right? 1998, so like...
Game Boy Color should be out in 97, right?
Is it? I think so. That
so
sounds
it's still
right.
Game Boy, because that era is kind of one big era, but...
Yeah. This is a great era of Nintendo. Like you've got them firing on all cylinders, honestly. But anyways, this letter came from James Armstrong via the internet, according to Nintendo Power.
Yeah, he's a rich kid.
Listen to what James Armstrong had to say. At first, I was disappointed with the N64. The games, with the exception of Super Mario 64 and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, lacked depth. Every game hid behind phenomenal graphics and killer sound. But where was the complexity? This disappointing trend reached its peak with the much-touted Star Fox 64. It took me, a gamer of moderate skill, 37 minutes to beat the game. I was so annoyed that I almost sold my N64, but I am glad I didn't. I just got GoldenEye 007. It has graphics, sound, and a storyline. Only Super Mario 64 can come close in gameplay. It builds on Doom in a way I thought could never be done. They say that it takes a while for game developers to learn a system to fully exploit its potential. I think the wait time is over. GoldenEye made quite a splash in my book, and as you may have guessed, my book is rather hard to even land on.
Dang.
That is a pretty spicy submission from James Armstrong right there that I'm surprised they even put on this magazine. But hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys have to say to James Armstrong from 1997?
If this guy's still going strong, I bet you anything he's one of the sequel trilogy haters. That's the loudest. He sounds like he would have been one of them.
How is he ignoring Pilot Wing 64?
Yeah, that's just rude.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the 64 notoriously has just not a great lineup, period. Like, even not even by the standards then. I mean, it's only 260 something games, and out of those games, maybe 50 of them are actually like quality, and maybe 20 of those are ones that people could actually go back to.
It's super top heavy. Like, it's got like some all timers, and then like, a good couple dozen like great games. Then it kind of
fizzles out.
Yeah.
But it's funny to hear somebody from the time period, like the way he said, because Star Fox 64 is fantastic, but it is short though. Like 20 minutes, he had to have been. I don't think you can beat the game in 20 minutes without like the speed run knowledge.
Is there a route you can take to beat the game in 37 minutes? I'm sure there is, but like
maybe
this guy
is short, but
not for a gamer of moderate skill. I mean.
Yeah, I love how he used that term. A gamer of moderate skill. Took me 37 minutes.
Very humble.
He sat down when he started playing. He's like, "I'm going to start my timer." 37 minutes. That was it.
Yeah. He says, my book is rather hard to even land in. So this guy was hard to please. I got to say, though, he must have completely ignored Wave Race 64, too. Hiding behind killer graphics and sound, that was an amazing game that had killer graphics and killer sound.
What a fun thing to hiding behind killer graphics and sound. The games only look and sound incredible. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not deep at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting take. I mean, GoldenEye, at the time, having like lived that time, like that game blew people away. GoldenEye is in part to thank for the first person shooter boom. Going back to try to play GoldenEye now is a different story. That game does not play very well.
I do think it's funny that he was making his argument saying it has graphics, sound, and a storyline. Like 007's story is something to be heralded or something.
Especially GoldenEye. I am invincible.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any closing thoughts for little Jim Armstrong from the internet in 1997?
I want somebody out there to find James Armstrong, and I want to know what his thoughts are now on the 64's lineup.
That'd be so cool to have a Nintendo Power that you wrote into.
Yeah, right.
Dude, seriously. I would get like a graded 9.5 condition version of that article.
Grading your own Nintendo Power entry, like
oh, dude,
take just the page out and have that graded.
Yeah. Like, we can talk trash, you're right, about James Armstrong all we want, but like, he's part of Nintendo history now, literally. Like, that is so cool.
James Dunmire's not part of Nintendo history.
James Dunmire is not part of Nintendo history. I wish. Maybe one day when Nintendo Power gets restarted. Anyways, guys, thank you for participating in this trial run of Player's Pulse.
Yeah, keep it coming. That's fun.
Okay,
that was great.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next time. Next time, I'm going to refer to the power charts here. We have touched on these plenty of times before because it's kind of fun. It's basically the top 10 like trending games that people are playing and or voted on for like what they're playing right now and are loving. So at the time, number 1, the top 3 on 64 was GoldenEye 007. Number 2 was Star Fox 64. Number 3 was Mario Kart 64. Now, I always like to make a little game out of this. So here we go, boys. We got the top 10 on this SNES. I'm going to say them in alphabetical order. And I want you to tell me what was the top 3 in this issue of Nintendo Power. Top 3 power chart games for Super Nintendo.
So
okay,
I'm going to give us the 10 in alphabetical
I'm going to give you the
order.
10.
Okay.
You're going to guess the top 3. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Chrono Trigger. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Earthbound. Final Fantasy 2 and 3. Harvest Moon. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Super Mario RPG, which at this point would have come out. Had that come out? What year?
It came out like 95 or 96. It was late.
Okay.
But
Okay. So those are the top 10. I can repeat them if you'd like, but if you want to give me a top 3 and guess, go for it.
So if this is like a power rankings, Chris, are you thinking we got to go like a newer game would be more likely to be more popular at the time? Is that the logic?
So it's interesting when you hear that list to hear like Zelda on there. I mean, that's an early game.
Yep.
To have all
three
Donkey
Donkey Kongs. Yeah.
My gut says Mario RPG is one of the top 3.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a new game, so it was probably like pretty hot back then.
Yeah. My gut also says Earthbound is not one of the top 3 because there's a reason nobody knew who Ness was when Smash 64 came out. Like I'm surprised it's even on the list. What do you think? I do think Super Mario RPG is on there. I don't know if it's number 1, but
you both get to guess. By the way, you don't have to make a collaborative guess. I want you to both guess.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Mario RPG. I agree with Chris. I'm gonna pick one of the Donkey Kongs. I'm not gonna pick 3 because Kiddy Kong freaks me out like everyone else. As everyone likes to say, weird baby. I'm gonna say DKC 2 because it's
okay.
The third one, I mean, I don't want to put another RPG, but I'm gonna say Chrono Trigger.
Okay, Chris.
I'm gonna agree with Zach with 2 of them. I think Mario RPG, and I'm thinking Donkey Kong Country 2 as well. 1 was too old, and I don't care that 3 is the newest. It's easily the least popular of the 3. So I'm thinking it might not be on there. Or might not be a top 3, and then I'm gonna go with Link to the Past because I'm wondering if maybe people were hyped for the release of Ocarina of Time, and they were playing it.
That's a good idea.
I like all of your guys' reasonings. Here we go. This is the top 3. We'll see who got closer. In number 3, Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble.
Stupid Kiddy Kong.
I love how Zach made all this rationale for not picking 3, and then it ended up being 3. That's pretty good. Okay, but so not bad. And then number 2, Super Mario RPG. Number 1, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Chris Perry, ding 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 ding. You are the winner.
I did it. I win. What do I win, James?
Well, you win the Power Charts trophy that I have not constructed yet. Don't worry about it.
I think you nailed it. I bet you it was Ocarina of Time hype.
Yeah, because you're coming up on that time, so
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident you're right, Chris, because at the bottom they also do the most wanted list, like most wanted games that is voted on by readers, and number 1 is Zelda 64 at this point.
Hmm.
Number 2, Nintendo 64 disk drive. That's the
What could have
Earthbound
been.
64. Earthbound 64 came in at 7. And so they did make this point to say, in their anxious anticipation for Earthbound 64, RPG fans are rediscovering the original. After months off the chart, the adventure lands in the number 8 spot. So Earthbound hadn't been on this list for a while, but like you were saying, Zelda and Earthbound hype kind of got these games on the list. Interestingly, too, A Link to the Past had been on the charts for 69 months. So that's like just under 6 years. Like, I mean, I totally agree as a massive Link to the Past fan, but it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see that.
Yeah.
All right, it's fun looking back at those power charts. Moving on in our power hour, and I like I said, it might be a little bit of a long-winded power hour, so I apologize in advance to you guys and the listeners, but I have fun with this.
Everybody does.
I'm glad to hear it. Pages 10 through 25. They literally spent 15 pages on this head-to-head duel of NFL QB Club 98 versus Madden 64. Now, little sports history for y'alls. Before it was just Madden, there were other games and developers that had access to the NFL license, which was very valuable. It created competition. It created lots of cool, fun games that were not just Madden. And it is kind of sad that we don't live in a time anymore where that's the case, because all you have now, if you want to play an NFL game, basically, is just Madden. And I do love Madden. It is a very, I would say, okay to good football simulation in terms of that, but like it changes very, very little from year to year. Yeah, it's a fun game. Very good game competitively, but it's not exciting. They basically just change the names on the back of the jerseys, and they might change like one little gimmick in the game or
make the players sweatier.
Yeah, they will make
Look at the
sweatier.
glistening sweat.
Look at the guys in the crowd drinking beer. But yeah. So they did a head-to-head. Like on the left side of the issue, they had NFL QB Club. On the right side, they had Madden 64. And then on each page, they had writers of Nintendo Power having played both. They did their vote for what they liked the best of the two games, which was very interesting. And there was one that caught my eye for basically Easter egg reasons. Let's go to page 20. What am I on here? Page 14. Do you guys, I'm going to ask you guys, are you familiar with the name Dan Osen?
Not even a little bit.
Are you familiar with Dan Osen? Okay.
Dan Osen, no.
He was a writer, I guess part-time or full-time, I don't know, but he was one of the writers on Nintendo Power. This was his take on the head-to-head matchup between these two games. It's a shame that both games are so good, and it's almost impossible to make a recommendation. But if I bought one of them, it would be NFL Quarterback Club. It has the best graphics, and the spin move on the controller is an awesome idea. That's pretty standard these days, spinning with usually like the circle button or the right button. While Madden's graphics aren't as good as QB Club's, they were still nice, and the game is easy to pick up and play. So both people, all reviewers seem to like both games, but generally speaking, it seemed like people kind of received NFL QB Club better than Madden. And that was a trend that honestly kind of stayed pretty consistent until Madden got exclusive rights. Like you remember NFL...
The 2K series.
The 2K series. There was a 2K. There was an individual entry in the 2K series, and I think it was with the, ironically, a Philadelphia Eagle on the front. It might have been Donovan McNabb. I don't remember. I think, but it was like one of the most lauded football video games of all time. Rave reviews from critics. People loved it. It felt revolutionary compared to Madden, and sadly, like that was basically the end of competition because
EA was like,
they threw out the dollars and like that was it. Competition gone.
Lame.
And yeah, pretty sad, honestly. That as a Madden fan, pretty sad. But Dan Osen, back to Dan Osen, the guy who wrote this, his choice between the two games. I want to give you a little background on this guy. Dan Osen, he worked in localization and translation for Nintendo of America from like the late 80s to the 90s. He worked on a number of games. Like I think his first one was Metroid 2, Return of Samus. His last one, I guess, ended up being Ocarina of Time. And then he wasn't working for localization anymore. I think he came back maybe in the Wii era or something like that to do localization work or whatever. But he also wrote for Nintendo Power. He is a local Seattleite still to this day, and he is one of the first English language voices used in any Nintendo console, as his voice can be heard at the beginning of Super Metroid.
The last Metroid.
Do you know the line?
Captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris Perry. That was the voice of
Interesting.
Dan Osten.
That's awesome.
That is a
Isn't that
crazy
cool?
little tidbit. How did you figure that out? Like, did you see his name and then look it
Okay.
up, or
Now, the reason it stuck out to me, and the reason I looked it up at all, is because this is another Dan Osten Easter egg. You play Ken Griffey Jr., Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr., and I think in Winning Run, too. This employee of Nintendo of America also made an appearance as one of the players on the Seattle Mariners. Now, you remember, in Ken Griffey Jr. and all those games, the only player they had the license to was Ken Griffey Jr., so the only actual player name they used was him. Everyone else on the team was just, for more or less, for better or worse, it was like random names, or at least they felt random, except some of the names, I'm assuming all of the names on the teams were employees or workers for Nintendo. And one of the players on the Seattle Mariners, I remember this very clearly. It was D. Osten when he went up to bat, and I am convinced that he was the representation of Joey Cora. And if you guys remember Joey Cora on the Seattle Mariners on those playoff
of course
teams,
I do, but
he was this little dude. I think he was Puerto Rican. I don't want to stick him into a box, but I'm pretty sure he was this little Puerto Rican baseball player. He played, I think, second or third base, really small guy. And whenever he went up to bat at the plate, he would bend way, way down. He had this really weird baseball stance. It looked like he was doing wall sits, basically. He was way down here.
and he moved a lot too while he was standing there.
Yes, he did. It looked weird, but I mean, he got it done. So they chose for his name. I'm assuming it was Joey Cora. I don't know that for a fact, but I remember one of the players on the Seattle Mariners you played on in this game was D. Osten. So I looked it up. I was like, there's obviously a connection here. That's what made me think of Dan Osten, and that's what made me look into him at all. But he didn't just have the line in Super Metroid. He also had a couple other lines in in Star Fox games. Okay, do you remember the luck, the good luck in this?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's awesome.
That's Dan Osten. So apparently that they have an uncompressed version of him doing that voice, and then they have the compressed video game version of it. But that was Dan Osten, and then also he did, that was really funny. I thought I'm gonna slaughter this, but do you remember what Fox sounded like in Star Fox on Super NES? He sounded like damn it. Do you remember that?
Yeah. This is very sound effect. Mumbling.
That voice of Fox McCloud was Dan Osten in Super Star Fox or whatever it was called.
That's so random. Dan Osten's the new face of the X Button Gaming Podcast.
And like I said, local connection too. There's a sports connection, there's a Nintendo connection, there's a really cool video game connection with Metroid and Fox. And then he was just randomly a writer on Nintendo Power. So it makes you feel too like Nintendo Power was more part of the Nintendo
Ecosystem?
I don't know, ecosystem. Yeah. It was more involved in they had more people that were actually part of the team in this than maybe I would have thought before. But yeah,
that's a really cool tidbit. That'd be a great trivia question that nobody would get except for if they listen to this podcast.
So guys, never forget Dan Osten. He's probably down the street. He could be down for the street. He could be next. He could be my neighbor for all I know. I just know that Dan Osten's somewhere on the way.
Excuse me, are you Dan Osten?
Dan Osten and James Armstrong.
Yeah.
They're somewhere.
Nintendo legends.
Let's bring them back together.
Something tells me Dan Osten would not like to hang out with James Armstrong, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, maybe they would like to see each other.
Maybe they're the same person. No, that's not possible.
No.
Dan Osten actually was cool.
Dan
All
would
right, so
never say those things.
Let's go to page 24 in this same article. I know you're just get it over with the football stuff.
No,
I can't. It's me, and
I don't
it's
even
that time
care
of
for
the year.
football that much. I'm enjoying it. So
Okay,
keep it
good.
going.
Here we go. So I'm going to show you the page. On this left side of the page here, you know how we had Brett Favre on the cover?
Mm-hmm.
They also had a little tidbit here, a whole page really, dedicated to Brett Favre. I'm going to read this here. It says, when Brett Favre started college at Southern Mississippi, he was the seventh string quarterback. Now, after leading the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl championship, Favre is arguably the best of the best. Who better to collaborate with the developers of QB Club at Iguana Entertainment? Brett may not have written any code, but he did supply special plays for the game, which we have obtained thanks to Acclaim. The plays drawn out here by the Super Bowl MVP are just a sample of Brett's input. Through the course of development, Favre kept in touch with Iguana, consulting on the vast number of plays included in QB Club, which number over 500. So it's kind of cool here. If you look closely at the page, they show on the, I don't know what it looks like to you, but on my right side, they see those black and white plays that are drawn up, the X's and the O's and the routes that the wide receivers are running.
Mm-hmm.
They show them the way apparently Brett Favre drew them up, and then they show what the plays ended up looking like in the game that he worked on, which is really cool. I feel like that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And I don't know how serious and how accurate it is that they took his input seriously. I mean, I'm hoping that this is true. I'm going to assume it is. And I'm going to assume that Brett Favre cared enough to do this. It feels like a little bit of a reach for me, but like, if it's true, that is a really
the beginning
cool
of his career, right?
Yeah.
So he may have still been a little more down to earth because he was kind of a punk, right? Like
yes. And if you, I mean, in
Brett
the
Favre
aftermath,
famously has done nothing wrong ever.
yes, I know that was going to be the end of my little segment on this game is that he's now infamous for being basically a creep towards other women, and then also he allegedly, so he's never actually gotten in trouble for this, but allegedly he stole money from welfare to fund a volleyball stadium for his daughter.
Hey, he just loves his kids.
So is he like an NFL legend? Yes. Was he a great quarterback? Yes. Was he also maybe a bad guy, did bad things? Also, yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
We'll put him on the thumbnail for this episode.
yeah. You gotta get Brett on. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do.
You want to get X button game canceled, but yeah, I mean, I guess no one's perfect, but and you could. Brett Favre is certainly among that class of people that are not perfect. That's for sure. But again, very interesting article that really paints a different picture of what video games kind of used to be like, and that. I don't know. It felt a little bit more pure when people had access to ideas and they could do what they wanted to do with games. You know, once people start buying out everything, you don't get creativity anymore. You don't get. It's why competition's good. It's why you want Nintendo and you want Sony and you want Microsoft. You want everyone to be thriving and doing well.
Yep.
You know, that's my take on it. That's my TED talk on the feature article. Okay, so next article, we'll just briefly mention it. Diddy Kong Racing preview. So, Diddy Kong Racing, I believe, was the next issue to come out. It was going to be the feature article on the next issue. So they did a little preview on it. And I really liked that they mentioned all the racers here, because I think we've tried to like name all the racers in this game before and did really, really terrible.
Yeah, I'm tipped up.
Yeah, tipped up. And I was trying to remember. I was like, when I played Diddy Kong Racing, I was like, who is my main? And I can't remember, dude. Like maybe Timber the Tiger?
For me,
I don't know.
It was tipped up.
Yeah,
was it tipped up?
Yeah.
Was it tipped up? That's a funny guy. I mean, I'm sure there are some Conquer stands out there at the time.
Well, that's before he before he went the Brett Favre route.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't this like nice, happy Conquer before the game?
Oh, okay, all right. So yes,
it is.
Was Conquer like? Did Conquer come after Diddy Kong Racing?
Yeah, well after Conquer. Bad Fur Day was a late '64 game, possibly one of the last.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Thank you for the clarification. You're right. That does mean that this was prior to Conquer's Brett Favre storyline. So, yeah. All right. So, anyways, yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. We all love it. In the aftermath of, just really briefly, in the aftermath of Mario Kart World, having played it to some degree, all of us, I'm sure. What did you think? Did you think it reminded you of Diddy Kong Racing in any respects? Because I know there was comparisons drawn before it launched. Do you think there's any what do you think?
I mean, minimally. Like, it's got that open world area before you go into a race, but
I would say I would actually kind of prefer if it was more Diddy Kong Racing.
I
thought the open world was a little too empty. I was kind of thinking it was going to be like a Horizon, like in like driving up to a race, getting into a race, and doing it. Not just it's fun, I guess, but I'd rather there's more. The races were intertwined to the open world.
Yeah, I I tend to agree, honestly. I really enjoyed Mario Kart World, and I'm still playing it from time to time. But yeah, I do wish that they'd borrowed a little bit more from Diddy Kong and/or Horizon like that.
And Diddy Kong had the giant pig head you could fly through to race
Yeah.
Whiz Pig. Like
Yeah.
we need more of that.
Yeah, right.
I agree. Yeah, we need that like we need that Nintendo 64 like style of like jumping through a painting or racing through a level, kind of like Diddy Kong
A little
racing.
more whimsy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, page 42. They had this classified information where they had like tips and tricks. I wanted to bring this up because it just brings up like really bitter memories of playing Mario Kart 64 with you, Chris. But if you look right here, they literally showed shortcuts on 2 races in Mario Kart 64. Were you familiar with these ones? There was one in Frap Mountain, or I can't remember what it's called, but right here it's just listed as Frap Step 1, and then it says Yoshi Step 1. So like that big one with the Yoshi egg in the middle and all the different routes, and it's like it's a chaos level in Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, because there's no map on it. Like you don't, and there's a bunch of different routes.
Yeah. I'm not surprised there was like a shortcut like preferred route in the Yoshi one, because it's just wild, that level. But the Frap Mountain one, I didn't know there was a shortcut in that, and I don't remember you ever like taking advantage of shortcuts in these levels. So I was like, should I show Chris this for the?
It's not like we go play Mario Kart 64 very often anymore.
On the small chance we go play Mario Kart 64.
It's not my fault that you never learned the Wario Stadium or the.
Listen, it's cheesy. You're right. It's not. I should have learned. I'm just bitter because Wario was my favorite racer, and in his level, I kept losing over and over again to Chris. It was just very frustrating. Like,
dude, I just knew the tricks.
I guess I just got to get good, Just got to get good. All right. So the poster. No Nintendo Power issue is complete without a poster. We already talked about this game.
Hey.
Diddy Kong racing poster with the big elephant. Diddy Kong. And that's really just it on the poster, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It would be fun to hang those up if it wasn't for the fact you'd have to take them out of the issue. Like,
yeah, I know, right? Like,
some of them would be really cool to have on display, but I would have to have it already have been removed from the issue. I don't think I could do it.
Acquire one issue to tear it apart and take out all the goodies, and require a second for collecting purposes.
Yeah. Well, like even like posters that come with games, like especially older games came with posters. Like some of them would be cool to display, but I'm like, it's not complete if I put it on the wall. I have to keep it in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, and this was one of my favorite things, guys, in this episode, in this issue of Nintendo Power. I'm gonna just show you the picture, and Chris will know immediately why.
Oh, is that when the Mario 64 or the Nintendo 64 toys were at Taco Bell?
It was N64X Taco Bell. There was a collaboration at Taco Bell where the Kid Meals had toys that were to promote the N64, which was a new console. I guess
James has never been happier than he was those days.
Okay, and this unlocked a memory for me. Maybe you remember this. Do you remember that the cups, when you bought a meal, I think, or they had to be of a certain size, probably medium or large, when you bought a soda during this promotion, during the Taco Bell promotion of with N64, they had like a little flap at the top of the cups. You opened it, and inside was a paper pog. Do you remember, like a cardboard pog with a number on it
That does
and a
sound
character?
familiar, but I didn't.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, that's.
I took a couple screenshots because I wanted to show you guys kind of what they looked like. Maybe that'll unlock it for you. They had numbers on them, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that at all? So like, there's literally, sorry, it's kind of bad. It looks bad in this camera, but like you have Cranky Kong on one that's like the number 12. You have like 007 on one that's the number 44. There's like some Killer Instinct characters, and it was really cool. Like at the time, they're like, come to Taco Bell, buy a lot of drinks and food, and when you get these pogs, if you can get a series of pogs, I think it was like if you can find 5 pogs that add up to the number 64, we will give you a Nintendo 64. And I'm sure the odds of getting it were astronomical, like super low.
They had to be.
But I remember like, dude, I remember collecting these pogs, and like every week I'd like take them all out and I'd like look at all the numbers and I'd like try to like do my math and be like, can I find a 5?
You already had a 64 too, so what did you...
I don't know why I cared so much. It's like, yeah, I don't need a second N64, but I was like, I tried to find a 5-pog combination that would add up to 64 so I could get a Nintendo 64. I never got that combination. I'm sure there was like one rare Pog that was the only way to make that combination, but and I don't know what it is, but you can go onto eBay and try to buy these Pogs, and they're surprisingly expensive, dude, especially the cups that have the Pogs still inserted on the top. Like,
dang.
I saw some going for like $75-$80. Some were like $150, $200. Like
the Taco Bell cup.
Taco Bell cups and Pogs. You can find the individual Pogs for pretty cheap, but like, dude, I was just like,
that's crazy.
I love that memory that this unlocked for me, man. Like, and apparently too, I remember that there were instant win Pogs too. Like you pull it and it was just 64 alone. And that you couldn't redeem that for an N64, but it was like, oh, you won an original taco, you won some nachos, you won a medium drink, like
Crunchwrap Supreme.
Crunchwrap. Oh yeah, that was they didn't know what they were in store, man. There's some good the things on the 1997 Taco Bell menu that I would kill to get back, man.
7-layer burrito.
Oh, dude. Oh boy. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling here. It's Taco Bell. Taco Bell / Nintendo. It's like,
yeah. When's the Taco Bell episode coming on to talk about all their video games?
Oh boy. Oh,
my favorite.
Go ahead.
Oh, my favorite Nintendo and food crossover is Reggie Fils-Aimé was like the president of Nintendo and like the former president of like Pizza Hut. And it's like that's just like my dream. Like the president of Pizza Hut into president of Nintendo. Like. You couldn't beat that.
Where was the Pizza Hut game, Nintendo?
And dude, well, you know what's funny about that too, Chris? Remember, we went to PAX and we went to a panel that Reggie did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about like his novel or whatever that that he wrote.
Yeah, I read that. It was. I mean, I liked it.
But he was one of the reasons that like I don't know if this. I think this was this just prior to Nintendo or was it post Nintendo? But he was one of the reasons that like Panda Express kind of like took off all over again, and he streamlined their business or like their like
he helped with their advertising of Orange Chicken because that was and like pushing it because it was their best thing. Yeah, in that book, Changing the Game, I actually listened to the audiobook of it. Yeah, he talks about that in detail and his Pizza Hut time too.
Does he narrate the book?
He does, yeah. It was very entertaining listen. I like business, so like I listen to it mainly because of the Nintendo aspect of it, but I also find like that business stuff kind of fascinating. So it was an interesting listen to me, but I can see why it'd be boring for people who don't want to listen to somebody talk about, the ins and outs of corporate America somewhat too. But the stuff he talks about his time at Nintendo and his friendship with Iwata and Miyamoto and stuff like that, it's very interesting and a little bit emotional too. So it's a fun listen too because since he narrates it.
Yeah, I bought the book and I told myself I'd read it. I think I read like the first chapter and I never got around to finishing it, but I want to go back to it.
Yeah. I just, like I do with podcasts, I just put it on when I drive to like site visits and stuff, and I feel like I listen to it really quick.
Nice. Yeah, I love audiobooks for that too. I should read that at some point for, if nothing else, for podcast purposes, to have more like Easter eggs to drop on people. But all right, so we got just two more things. Counselor's Corner. This is where, so at the time, Nintendo had like a helpline, right, where people could call in and ask how to beat this boss, how to advance in this part of the game. I'm stuck here. What do I do? They basically created a series of articles to help people in the magazine for like commonly asked questions. And I love this because it's impossible to forget this moment in this game. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire in 64. What do you think that readers were asking about, Chris? Yeah, just off the top of your head.
Either the challenge coins or the IG-88 fight.
Yes, you're dude, exactly. Literally, one is about Mos Eisley challenge coins, and then the second one was, how do I defeat IG-88? That's literally the question that they pose here in the article. And
IG-88 boss fight is not even that hard. It's getting across the train that's the hard part.
I agree, but listen to how
this guy's an idiot. No,
listen to their. I disagree because I had a really tough time with IG. I did it the same way they suggest to do it, but listen to this. IG-88 is a jetpack-toting silver robot waiting to nab you at the end of the Ord Mantell junkyard in Mission 4. Luckily, there is a secret place where you can ambush this high-flying bounty hunter. As soon as you enter the area, jump down from the train and walk to the wall where you'll see two openings. Take the left entrance and run up the ramp to two alcoves, one filled with junk and the other empty. Enter the junk-filled alcove and stand between the two red pieces of scrap metal. Keep your back to the wall and wait for IG-88 to appear, then shoot between the two pieces of metal. If IG-88 tries to hit you from a different angle, back up or step to the left or right to avoid his fire. So they basically
Totally cheesing it.
they teach you how to cheese ID88, and I feel like I learned this one pretty organically. I don't remember how, but I did the same thing. I went to that little corner behind the scrap metal, and I just shot between the two little pieces of metal.
You'll never catch me alive.
I personally never beat IG88 the legit way. Did you?
I mean, I've played through that game so many times. I definitely have, but I also know that area you're talking about. But when you go with the right like upgrades, like the seeker missiles and stuff, those things just take him out. So I think it's just a matter. Whatever. We're talking about a game from 30 years ago. Nobody cares.
All right. Well, I thought it was funny they brought that up, and then finally, I wanted to show you the results of the review between NFL Quarterback Club 98 and Madden 64. Right? They reviewed games as standard practice for a video game magazine. This is back when they had decimal points in their scoring system.
Ooh.
NFL Quarterback Club had a 8.2. Madden 64 had a 7.9. Both good, not necessarily great, but they came away thinking NFL Quarterback Club was the better game.
Interesting.
So there you go. Oh, and also, I thought this is weird that they rated this game, but there's no coverage of it in the magazine. F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. Was that a late?
F-Zero was a launch Super Nintendo game, or like launch window. That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they're grading it here. F-Zero on Super NES. Maybe it never
was
got
a launch game, wasn't it?
It might have been. I know it was an early game because it has the cartridge is shaped with the weird jet out on the bottom.
Was there some content that was exclusive to the best sellers, to the player's choice version? Because the box they're showing is the player's choice version of F-Zero. I wonder, maybe that's the reason they're reviewing it right now. I don't know.
News to me, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a retro review for some reason too.
Very strange. Anyways, guys, that is Power Hour. On the back of the issue, it said Nintendo Sports, because they probably wanted to be grown up, and we're the N64, and we're in a new era, and we got realistic graphics, and we're pitting sports sims against each other. That was
things will never look better.
Yeah, things will never. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's Power Hour, friends.
I looked it up just out of curiosity of the two of Madden 64 and Quarterback Club 98. I was wondering which is the more expensive 64 game complete in box. Do you guys have a guess as the more expensive of the two?
It's got to be Quarterback Club.
Yeah, I would guess the same just because it's not Madden, but I don't know.
You're both wrong. It is. Madden is the more expensive by a whopping 40 cents.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Either of them are only like $20 complete in box games. They're super cheap cardboard games for 64.
I guess if you were looking at it from this perspective, I don't know how many NFL Quarterback Club games there were, but there's decades of Madden titles, and for people that are completionists and want all the Madden titles, I guess that would make it more desirable, maybe, than NFL Quarterback Club.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably more people with a fondness for Madden 64 too than Quarterback Club. It probably sold better, I would think, but
yeah. Yep, Power Hour. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you for doing it for us. Power Hour is fun. All right, so for this episode, our main topic, we're keeping it simple, and we're just going to talk about what we've been playing. So I'm going to play the sound bit for that.
So what you been playing?
I did it correctly this time. So yeah, after the hiatus, I talked to Zach because Zach was we had talked about him coming on a while ago, and I threw out some different ideas, and I was just struggling with like sitting down and prepping an episode. So finally, I was just like, let's just talk about what we've been playing. Let's just make it easy. We'll just hang out. I've been playing a lot of games this summer, and I haven't talked about any of them on the podcast because I haven't done any. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about some of the games we've been playing this summer, our thoughts on them, and just kind of just a chill discussion for however long we talk. We didn't talk about who's going to start, but I'm going to start.
Thank you. Can I go last?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Thank you.
And the reason I'm going
to... Like a second?
Yeah, you can. I'll let that happen.
Okay, cool.
So the reason I wanted to go first is because I would think if anybody listens to the podcast regularly, they probably assume that I'm too easy on games, and I might be. Generally speaking, I like just about everything I play. And even if I don't care for something, like I'm openly not a huge fan of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I still like them. Like it's just I like when I like 3D Zelda, I like the linear style of Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. But it doesn't mean I don't like the Breath of the Wild games. So I don't really say negative things about them. I just don't care for them. This game was a game that just came out in July. It actually came out the same weekend as Donkey Kong. And
Oh, no.
I chose to play this over playing Donkey Kong because it was just like, I was interested in it. I figured if I didn't play it then, I might not ever play it. And that game is Shadow Labyrinth. So for those who don't know what Shadow Labyrinth is, it's the Pac-Man Metroidvania, basically. It's, okay, so it is. It's a platformer with Metroidvania aspects, and there is a Pac-Man skin to it, in the fact that you are a nameless character, and this little character called Puck, which is a reference to Pac-Man's name in the early development of Pac-Man, looks like Pac-Man. It's a little robot, and it talks to you, and it brings you, it revives this soulless corpse, and it basically uses you to fight battles for it on this sci-fi planet. Okay, at first, I enjoyed this game enough at first. Decent platforming, controls are okay. The Metroidvania aspects, where you go back and forth trying to re-access areas that you've been, but you couldn't reach the area before. You find hidden items, yada, yada. It works okay. There's a few things with this game, though, that eventually made me hate it. One, a good Metroidvania game, generally speaking, probably is about 15, 20 hours. Doesn't mean it can't be longer than that. If it's keeping your Hollow Knight's probably a longer Metroidvania, but it's good the whole time. Like you're constantly interested in the next place you go. You want to go back and re-explore things. This game is so ungodly long. I have played this game for 60 hours. I'm not even joking. And that is, of course, with me being me, like I was trying to find everything. And there are so many collectibles in this game. It's ridiculous. Like I've never, you think games like Banjo-Kazooie and, the collectathon 3D platformers have a lot of collectibles. This is even worse. And like, there are so many upgrades in this game. I swear at like hour 40 of still trying to play through the story and still trying to expand in this world, I'm still getting lost because the game's map is so unintuitive. And it was hard because I tried to convince myself I liked it for a long time because it doesn't control bad. It feels all right when you play it, but it's a... Oh, okay, I was thinking about it. I was trying to think, like, if I was to recommend this game to somebody, who would I recommend this game to? Because I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who says, I want to play Metroidvania. I have plenty of other Metroidvanias I would recommend well before this. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody who says, I want to play a unique game with a Pac-Man skin, because there's so little Pac-Man reference in this that it makes no sense. Like, this game, I don't know who I'd recommend this game to. It feels like an AI game. Like, the story doesn't make much sense. It's very convoluted. It's very stretched out. The characters look terrible. Like, it's... the world just feels kind of... Even though there's a lot to see, it also feels kind of bland. Like I said, there's way too much exploration. And the worst of it, the absolute worst part, is there are these mazes that you access, okay? And then when you look at it on the outside world, it looks like the first level of Pac-Man on this board that you interact with. And I was excited when I got to the first one of those, because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like an actual, like, bringing in the Pac-Man vibe and maybe doing like a more just Pac-Man style thing. Like, that's kind of what I wanted. Like, maybe adding some flair to like Pac-Man levels and stuff, making them unique. When you go into these mazes, you control Puck on just like a flat surface. Okay. So it's not an actual maze where you're going through and like running from the ghosts or, trying to collect power pellets and eat them. You're trying to do these weird objectives where you have to collect some power pellets, but the controls are so unintuitive in this area. When you want to jump, it's so hard to explain. You guys will see this, but for people listening, they won't. But if you're on a wall that's vertical and you want to jump over to a platform that's over here, you would think like, okay, like I can angle it like this because the trajectory shows you I can angle off to this way. It doesn't jump like that. It's like the controls are so bad when you control puck. It is beyond frustrating. And one of the trophies in this game is to get every perk. And one of the perks you can only get for perfecting all of the mazes, and there's like 20 of these mazes. I will not platinum this game. At this point I'm not even sure I'll finish this game. I have gotten to the final boss area, and it's one of my least favorite things in a game. It's a boss rush where there's just like 5 bosses I have to fight before I get to the last boss. I just really hate this game.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to this one, like coming back to this one.
Yeah, I would like to say like, oh, and like I'm not going to talk anybody out of playing it. For some reason they really want to, like maybe you'll feel differently. But I don't see many redeeming qualities. Like I thought it was a cool concept. I liked the idea of a Metroid, like taking the Pac-Man IP and doing something fresh with it. That's why I thought I'd give it a chance. And for $30, it was like, that's not bad at all. That's cheap. It seemed like, why not? One of my favorite genres, like a cool concept, but it's just not good. Like the few things it does well, like it does control well in the basic platforming, but that's not enough on its own to feel, and it overstays its welcome so much. Like at 40-50 hours, like I still was actually trying to work through the story. Like, and yes, of course I do get distracted and try to get side stuff sometimes, but at that point, like I don't feel like I should have still been trying to work through the quote unquote story. There's very little story to be had in this game. Yeah, it's just bad. I don't like it. I have no intention of keeping it when I'm done with it. Like it's not a game I'd recommend to anybody. I was thinking like I said, like who would I recommend this game? I don't know. I don't know who I would tell to play this game. Like even a diehard Pac-Man fan, I don't know why they'd play it. There's no Pac-Man in it really. Like it's bad. Like I would on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd say this game's like a 3. Like I do not like this game.
Man.
And you're basically hate beating it for trophy purposes then right now?
No, I've stopped. I have stopped. I've stopped playing it because like even if I beat it, I'm never gonna get the platinum on it. Like I'm not gonna do it. I got to a point when I was trying to I stopped going for side stuff. I was just trying to push through to finish the game, to at least just have said I beat it. And then I got to that area at the end of the game where it's obviously like the final boss is coming up, and there's 4 rooms you have to go into. Each one of
Pinky,
them,
Blinky, Inky, and Clyde.
It's exactly what it is. And each one of them,
really?
yeah, each one of them has a maze that you have to do, which already is bad because I hate the mazes. But then after you beat the maze, each one of them has a boss that you have to fight. That the difficulty spike also has gone up. I have so much health in this game, it's ridiculous. Like I have like 25 like individual health things plus like 7 health tanks. Like, and they do so much damage. Like nothing up until this point did that much. Like I was overpowered for everything, and I don't. That's neither here nor there. But the difficulty spike is so high, and I hate having to fight multiple bosses in a row. And the maze has already put me in a bad mood. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I might try to power through it one more time and see if I can do it, but I don't like this game. It made me sad. Like I said, I tried to convince myself to like it. I tried to find positive things, but I was working and I was talking to my coworker, and I was just like, as I was talking about it, my hatred was growing more and more for it. Like, and he was like, it doesn't even sound like you like that game. I was like, I don't think I do. I think I actually hate this game. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And then once you play Donkey Kong Bonanza, you're really gonna hate that game.
That it wasted my time. Yeah. Yeah, and I try really hard when I play games to find the good in things, because I like to respect the fact that people took time to make games, and like good or bad, like there's usually something good to be found in it. And I don't know, like this game, it really does feel kind of like AI slop to me. Like I'm not saying it was made with AI. I don't know. I don't know how to tell, like it, but the story is so bad. It doesn't look great. Like
who's the developer?
Bandai Namco.
Oh, really? Oof.
Yeah. I mean the Pac-Man IP,
Yeah.
is them. I don't know. I think they made it in house, but I don't know. I haven't paid that much attention. But it's I recommend this game to no one, and may God have mercy on their soul.
I thought about I want to try this game, and I would have tried it on a curiosity, but now that you're saying it's just taking you 60 hours, I'm like, okay, well, never mind. Like,
I think that if you played and didn't get distracted at all and just focused on the main path with my God, which in a Metroidvania is very hard to do. Maybe you could do it in like 30, but
still, it's
a long
like
game.
Last year, Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown.
Yeah.
I really liked that game.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, that's good.
And that one took me 30 hours to do like basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was incredible. If you're telling me it takes 30 hours just to beat like the main path of a bad game, it's like
Yeah.
that's rough.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I would not tell you to play this game. I remember briefly on Discord, you and I'd mentioned that I picked it up and you asked how it was. And at that point I was kind of liking it, but like I was still probably like 5 hours in at that point. It's just, I don't enjoy it. It's not a great Metroidvania. Like I said, if somebody asked just for Metroidvania recommendations, this wouldn't even be on the list of game I'd ever recommend. Like there's so many Metroidvanias that do it so much better. Even like games that I've played that obviously were low budget, like small team, like still way better than this game. This game has no excuse to be as bad as it is. Like it's just not that good. And like I said, it's not that there aren't good things. You could start playing this game and be like, wow, Chris is an idiot. This game plays pretty well. And it's kind of intriguing because it does have that sci-fi, slightly like horror aspect. Almost feels like you're like in an alien world, as far like Alien the movies. But as you play it, you start to realize how drab everything looks, and not in an aesthetic way, in a design way. And like the music is okay in most of it, and it plays fine, but the actual game itself is just not good. that's it. I'd love to hear I don't know if anybody else has played this. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on it, like other people who've actually played it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have something to say. While I'm saying it, look up on Metacritic. I wonder what it got on Metacritic. But it is pretty funny to hear you just like absolutely like dislike this game, because that is very unlike Chris. You usually find like something about a game you're like, I liked this though, and this game you're like, I did not like this. But
I literally like I don't often sell games when I'm done with them, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm never going to play it again. Like, that's why I kind of want to try to power through the finish just to be done with it, to know that I beat it. But I mean, it's a 68 on Metacritic. Like,
really?
That's not bad, but
that's all right. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's like,
it's in the yellow region, I think.
Yeah.
I got a theory though, Chris. You said Bandai Namco developed it.
yeah.
Did not Bandai Namco also start development on Metroid Prime 4?
That was the rumor, yeah, that they started it.
Yeah.
And that's why they rebooted to retro.
And so, yeah, Nintendo saw it. They're like, "Bleh, puke." Moving on.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a puck behind Samus.
yeah, exactly.
And then they made
like,
Shadow Labyrinth.
We're like, since we're on the subject of Metroid, we'll just make this game. And it was just as puke as Metroid Prime 4 version 1.0 was, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, there's no hate for Bandai Namco here. Like, I played this
No.
I like the Pac-Man IP. Like, I've always liked Pac-Man when I was a kid. Like, the Pac-Man World games are great. Like, I like a lot of what they do. Like,
yeah,
this, I remember when they showed this at the Game Awards, I was like, that's a cool idea. Like, and like the dark Pac-Man coming out and eating the enemies, like, that looks really cool and very dark and gritty. Like, it just doesn't, it feels like an incomplete thought. Like they had a cool idea and then they just rushed something out to make it happen. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I guess good on them for trying something.
Yeah. I wish they would have tried harder, but I don't know. I do think the potential was there. And maybe at some point, I'd say one of the things that could really help ease my frustrations with this game is if they were to patch the controls for when you control Puck. Because you do control them in the main world too, but the mazes are so unenjoyable that I actively would groan when I start running across new ones because I didn't want to do it again. I didn't look forward to them, and they should be kind of fun because it should be a reference to Pac-Man, to the roots of the character. But instead, they're these terribly played out levels that I'm always getting. Here's my thing. I've always talked about this. Like when I play a game, I love games where I'm like, God, like this is hard, but I know I'm the problem. I can play it, and if I get better, I can beat this. That I'm fine with that. I'm fine with admitting I'm just bad. Like fighting games. Like they're not bad. I'm bad at them. You know, like that's just how it is. I would admit that if I was just bad at this game. I don't think that's it. I think it's just a bad game. like I can still beat it. I can power through any of it. I'm sure I can sit there and replay the bosses and finish this game until I'm done with it, but I'm not enjoying it so much that I don't know that I will. And I power through a lot like of stuff that I don't enjoy. Like I'm not enjoying much at the end anymore.
That's tough.
Yeah. So I thought I'd get that negativity out of the way to start because I have other games to talk about. Like like I said, we're gonna do round robin, but that is my I played that game for way too long, and it is not. I don't recommend it to anyone except for maybe my worst enemy, and I don't even know who they are. So, don't play it. Shadow Labyrinth.
Sounds like I got to get it on Black Friday sale for the shelf.
Do it. You can look at it and you'll always think of me. After I'm gone and left this world, you can look at Shadow Labyrinth and be like, X went near me.
Then Zach can drop a short about why Chris was wrong about Shadow
Yeah,
Labyrinth.
yeah.
Oh man, that would be funny if this is how I got popular. This is apparently a really bad take.
Yeah.
And like everybody loves this game. And like,
That would
what
be
an idiot.
That would be so
I
funny.
just get raked across the coals, like across the whole internet. Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, anyway, Zach, let's talk about one of the games you've been playing this summer.
I'll talk about a game that I did enjoy. This is a game that came out last year, and I was just like really slow rolling it until I really decided to kick it in high gear this last month. Dragon Quest III HD 2D.
Nice.
So it's a very it is like the grandfather JRPG. You know, it's like there's a lot of like tropey stuff. It's a pretty simple mechanics wise game, but it's just so fun. Have y'all played Dragon Quest? Y'all familiar with the Dragon Quest games?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I've played 3. I played the Game Boy Color version of 3, and I loved that game.
I love the Dragon Quest music.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
sound effects.
Dude,
they're all
so
they're so good. I was just like it's a really like happy game. I feel like just like the artwork of the monsters and stuff, they all look so goofy, but they have that great Toriyama like art style. The music's so great. The gameplay, like you can so like I said, the main turn-based battling is pretty simple, but you can change your character's classes, which I think is fun. You level them up to like level 20, then you can like change classes to get new skills and abilities, and that all like carries over with you, so you can make really busted characters. So I had fun doing that. I named the characters. My party was me, my roommate, and our cats. So one of my cats, Pancake, she was a warrior for a while, and then she became I can't remember what I put her final class. Maybe it was like a monster tamer or something silly like that. But and then like my one cat, Gus, was a sage, which that was funny. Him casting spells and like blowing people up. Yeah, just a really fun game and really well paced. Exploring the world's fun, and there's a lot of post game if you want it. I didn't do all the post game. I basically beat the game, dipped my toe in the post game, and then decided to put it down because I needed to move on to other stuff. But I'm really looking forward to Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. I guess it's in like October.
Yeah.
Look forward to checking this out.
So I've only played the first 3 Dragon Quests and a little bit of 7. I never played 8, 9, or 11. But like I like all 3 of the first 3, and I played them all on Game Boy. But I like all those versions of those games. I look forward to seeing what they do with 1 and 2. I'm glad they're putting them together because 1 is a short game. Like
yeah,
it's very short. So I wonder if they're going to change it some, add anything. Like I'm just excited to see what they do with it, and I do want to play them all 3 of these versions because I like you said, like Dragon Quest, whereas not my favorite RPG series, it is like like a good soup, like
Yeah.
it's just very comforting. The music is good. The gameplay is good. I like just the very traditional JRPG aspect of it.
Yep.
When you consider Final Fantasy and most other RPGs have moved away from traditional JRPG, it's nice to always have Dragon Quest just sticking with it. So I'm glad to hear that. I haven't talked to a lot of people who actually played the remake.
Yeah, it's the only Dragon Quest I've played other than 11. I loved 11. 11 was great. But then I was really looking forward to this one because I'm a sucker for the HD 2D games. And they do a good job in this game of like threading, like they've like interested me in like a story and world building. Like they prepped me for 1 and 2 HD 2D.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are adding some like, they're beefing up the story a little bit, especially in 1. I'm sure 1, the original Dragon Quest, is pretty straightforward. I'm sure that there's not a whole lot of story in that game, but I think they're adding some characters and adding a little depth there to make it a more of a trilogy.
Yeah.
They're branding it the Erdrick trilogy. So
I'm glad to hear that. I like that they're going back to these ones and adding a fresh coat of paint and just kind of revitalizing the series. I want to play the whole series at some point. I hope they continue to do it because like I hear 5 especially is like a phenomenal game, and I do have it on DS. But if we're being serious, I probably would end up playing a remake before I get to the DS version of it. But speaking of the HD 2D, that what's that game's called? Elliot's Quest? Is that what it's called? The game that they announced?
Oh, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales.
Yeah, super weird
How
name.
could you forget that? How could you forget that?
Yeah, I just dumbed it down.
Yeah.
That game looks really good. Like I'm actually really excited for that game. That Zelda 2D Zelda style with that HD 2D art style.
Yep.
It hit a vibe when I watched the trailer for it that was like immediately like I want to play that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it plays good too. I played the demo. It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't played the
I'm
demo, but I'm glad to hear that because I think it looks right up my alley and very much so like something I want to play right now.
It's very much a Zelda. Like there's like literally heart pieces, and you have a sword and a shield and the bow and bombs. It's just like a top-down Zelda.
And I'm all right with that because Nintendo's not really doing top-down Zelda.
I'm more interested now.
Yeah. I literally did like a little challenge dungeon. It's like, here's they called it, I forgot what they called it. It was like a red diamond. It's like, this thing increases your health when you get a certain amount of them. Like, oh, okay. And then,
Heart containers.
Yeah. And you have like a fairy companion that's like, we should go over here.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh man, like we're really just going for it.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Straight up Navi.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I'm pretty stoked for. Well, I have been for a while for the HD 2D versions of Dragon Quest. I'm with you. I think it's actually a pretty sizable population of people who have basically only played Dragon Quest 11 if they've played any of them.
Especially in America.
It's just owing to the fact that it was, they dropped it on the Switch and it was at the time one of the best. I mean, honestly, now it's still one of the best.
It's so good.
It's still one of the best RPGs on the Switch on the Switch one. It's so good. And when I remember buying it, I think ironically in Texas or maybe New Mexico, I was on a road trip and we passed through a Walmart, and I had just beaten, I don't know what game I just beat, but I wanted another game to play on the road trip because we were taking turns driving, and when I wasn't driving, I was playing on my Switch, and I loved it, man. It felt like going home somehow. Like I agree, very like lighthearted and whimsical. Felt like it has like almost like Disney aspects to it.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
The magicalness of it all, and yeah, music's incredible. And
that kind of started your RPG journey, didn't it? Because you have never played a lot, but I remember you playing that one, and since then you've kind of started playing more JRPGs.
I feel like since the Switch dropped, I almost play. It feels like exclusively RPGs, not by design. It's just what I end up wanting to play, and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird like that, but yeah.
All right, James. What about you? What's a game you've been playing?
Well, I get the feeling one or both of you is going to talk about this too. So I'm sorry if I'm bringing it up first, but Donkey Kong Bonanza. Is that something you guys are going to talk about at some point? I don't know.
I actually still haven't started it.
You haven't started it?
All thanks to Shadow Labyrinth.
Okay. All right. So then me and you, Zach,
maybe we
shirt on dude, I love dude. That's a beautiful tee right there. All right. So I'll just get my thoughts out. We can go back and forth. You can interrupt me, whatever. But like, I just have like random thoughts that I wrote down because I've been getting distracted by other games. So I've been coming back to this from time to time. I'm guessing like halfway through this game. Overall, Bonanza is great. Really good game. My first thing that comes to mind when I think of the game, like it controls like wonderfully. Like it's like a joy to like just travel around the world, like rolling, jumping, destroying. Like it just feels so good. It's just like such tight controls. Anybody can play it. Brimming with personality is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like, you fall in love with the characters and their art style and their animations. Like, DK and Pauline are like adorable and hilarious simultaneously. Lots of cool characters and the zebras and when you become a zebra, just so funny. Just funny parts of DK.
My favorite music of the year is that zebra song.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
It's so good.
No, dude, I literally, the first time you transform into the zebra, I started I LOL'd, I actual LOL'd, and I was like, this is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a good time to play. It has really cool like customization options. And even like a level up system where so obviously like the main like stick of the game is you collect these bananas. They're kind of like the moons that were in Super Mario Odyssey, for lack of better words, because this is the Odyssey team.
Yeah.
And you collect like, what is it, 5 or 10 at a time, and then like you get like a point, and you use these points to upgrade your DK and his abilities and his ability to like destroy the world and the universe around him and traverse it and find things. But there's just like some really, really cool abilities that DK has, like the simple things you expect, like the hand slapping when he like bangs on the ground. It basically gives him like echolocation or like a radar.
Oh yeah.
where you can see like where bananas are and other like collectibles you're looking for. Like it makes the whole world so interesting and fun to discover and like go around. And yeah, it's a really cool game. What you got some thoughts, Zach?
Yeah, I echo pretty much everything you said. So I finished it for context.
Nice.
I do think the movement in the game is like a constant highlight from beginning to end. I have some pretty complicated thoughts on like the entirety of the game, but the one thing I do love consistently is the game was always felt good to play.
Yeah.
It never stops feeling good. In Odyssey, I really like it's like triple jump, throw the hat, dive on the hat, bounce off the hat, dive again. In this game, you have like pick up a rock, slide on the rock, jump off the rock, roll, jump. It's like you can chain together all the what people call expressive platformers. You can chain together all your abilities into like a freestyle to just get from point A to point B in your own way, and you can kind of break the game. If you like get creative enough. I've seen some people, I don't know how to do it, but I've seen some people, you can basically fly in the game. You can like some combination of like swinging the rock in the air. You can do it fast enough where you'll just kind of fly in the air. I think
that's incredible.
They'll probably patch that, but I'm really looking forward to seeing people's speed runs of this game at like AGDQ. Give people like, a good 6 months to learn it. I think that people are going to do some crazy stuff with this game.
Yeah. I wasn't familiar with that, dude. Like the ability to like travel that way, like that speed running. I mean,
you're not supposed to, but yeah.
No, I love that.
Fly with rocks.
I feel like that's what I'm saying when I say like it just feels so good to control this game, because like it does feel like you can do almost anything, and maybe that kind of feels like modern Nintendo. That's what it felt like in Breath of the Wild to some degree, and then especially Tears of the Kingdom. You could do almost anything, and yeah, you just feel like so in control of DK and how he moves and where he goes in this game.
Yep.
And so it just makes it so fun to do everything. And like, I feel like this game, because of that, is like so bad. If you have ADHD, you get distracted by literally everything.
Yep. You mentioned the sonar. I was running around hitting the right bumper, like constantly, like a dog seeing a squirrel, like changing directions the whole time. Like, it's like a blessing and a curse for some people, I feel like. 100%. But like it makes the game like constantly fun to play, and you're always looking for something. Something we didn't talk about, there's these really cool like bonus stages, like for lack of better words, shrines. I feel like somebody on the Discord compared them to shrines. Maybe that was Joel. He's right. There is like a little bit of the modern Nintendo DNA, but like you go into these doors where you have like Pauline sing, and she does a and then it like opens up.
Pauline, you're here.
That was actually pretty good.
You like that? And like they're like, some of them are timed. Some are just like find the 3 bananas in these challenge zones. I don't even know what they're called. Challenge. I
think challenge zone's a good word for it. I don't know if they had a name.
Yeah, I don't know if they give a name. Shrines. Let's just say shrines. It's faster. But like in these shrines, really fun. Some are timed where you like have to beat like a certain kind of baddie, like 3 or 4 of them or something, and others are like traverse to this point of the map before the time runs out, or get bananas before this time runs out. Like they're really fun, and they use these shrines to like bring up some of the like the callbacks from earlier Donkey Kong games. You get like some cool throwback moments where you see like they do. I don't know. They bring back some of the stuff that you'd find in the Rare games or the Donkey Kong Country series. But really, really fun, dude. Like every map, every area, as you travel down this into the center of the earth, for lack of better words, like it's such a fun game to play, man. It's like a great and original departure from what we think of when we think of Donkey Kong, which is like a 2D platformer, like a difficult one, but a really fun one. And so now I wonder if they have a bit of a Zelda problem now. Do they now have?
Yeah, where do you go from here?
Yeah. Like, do we now have to like split Donkey Kong development into 2 series because this is so good, but also like that doesn't take away how much we love DK platformers. So like maybe that's a Zelda thing where one team can make 2D games and another team can make like 3D games like this. And this like I don't even know what genre you would classify this game into. Like it is a platformer, but it's like so much more than that, you know?
Yep. You mentioned loving DK platformers. That was one of the things I struggle with in this game. Is I when I talk about this game, I've led with some of my criticisms. I do love this game, like front to back. I loved it. I 100%ed it. I got every banana. I did everything.
Nice.
I loved it. But I do think the game is very focused around exploring and destroying, and I feel like the platforming is pretty much reserved for the challenge levels. There's like very little like platforming in the levels, and I was wanting more of that, like on the main path, me getting to the main objective, more of the actual platforming stuff. You have to kind of seek out the platforming stuff in the challenge areas, and those start to get samey after a while, just because the environments it's that like, what would you call it, like that gray, like you're like in another realm, like it's just like these gray platforms. It's not as exciting as the overworld, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Sure.
So when you want to have the fun challenge, the platforming sections, you're in like a less fun environment, I guess. Bosses, I thought also there's some cool boss mechanics, but you can melt bosses so fast in this game. Especially with the Kong Bonanza. Like I'll fight a boss and it's like, oh, I like what they're doing here, and then I just bash it over the head with a rock like 4 times, and it just dies. So it's like,
yeah.
And there's some later bosses that are like truly really really fun, and they're more challenging, and they put in mechanics to prevent you from just like bashing them over the head with a rock 4 times. But some of the early stuff, I wish they could have made it. I don't know if challenging is the word, but maybe force it to where I had to interact with the boss for a longer period of time.
I feel like I agree on some. I feel like that would be my bigger criticism of it, is that early it feels pretty easy, and I don't think this game needs to be difficult necessarily, because it's not like it's not supposed to be a difficult platformer. But I agree. What was I going to say? I had a thought and it just completely slipped my mind. I don't want the game to be difficult. I understand they have to appeal to a wide audience. I get all that, and I'm fully on board with that. But there was one boss that I liked early mid game-ish. I can't remember which one it was. I remember, on the Switch you can like record if you hold down the screenshot button, you can like record 30 seconds. I had a boss that I fought, beat, and watched the cutscene of it in those 30 seconds.
Jeez.
It was like I wanted to really it was like, it's building up this big moment at the end of this world, and then I just absolutely waylay it. And it's like,
that's so funny.
That's my biggest criticism, is I wish they could have made the bosses more consistently longer. But there's some really cool moments in that game.
I tend to agree. I think I agree on that with that criticism. But I also, because it does seem like you get kind of like, you level up at a pretty quick rate, especially if you focus the bananas early. You kind of become like overpowered pretty quick, and it's pretty easy to bash through bosses because of that. But I think also
my problem too, because I was 100%ing it, so I was like, maybe I was like an over level DK, which is not something I was really like preparing to like not be an overpowered Donkey Kong. I don't know, but like. Yeah,
it's a blessing and a curse, because you're right. It makes the boss battles some of the boss battles, especially early, really easy. But Also, it makes it easier to bust things up and just destroy things and discover the nooks and crannies, which is the funnest part of the game. I feel like. So,
Yep.
like, yeah, it's that was. I'm sure that was a tough balance for them trying to figure out how quickly to make DK so busted so fast. I don't know how much thought they put into that. I'm sure a lot more than I can imagine. But
Well, when you make the game so open and allow so much like player freedom and like just let them do what they want, you're never gonna satisfy all audiences. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna let me destroy the entire level and do all this stuff at my own pace, there's gonna be shortcomings. Like you can't check all boxes like that.
for sure, yeah, like in Breath of the Wild, like you can do almost anything, and you can also beat Ganon in 4 minutes or whatever the speedrunners do. You know, like.
Yep.
But yeah. One other note. This game gave me something iconic to say every time I eat a banana or anything banana flavored. You know, the banana.
Yeah.
So good, so good.
To play on I remember on Donkey Kong 64 when you'd collect a banana, it would do the banana.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
So good.
They updated that sound. I definitely look forward to playing this game. Like every trailer, every preview, just hearing you guys talk about it, like it seems like a very fun, joyful game like Mario Odyssey was. Like Mario Odyssey just made me happy. And that's one of the things I look forward to most in Nintendo games is, you know, when a good Donkey Kong, a good Mario, they just make you happy. And like, it just kind of reminds you of being a kid a little bit. And it definitely looks like that. And like hearing you guys talk about it, like I do want to play it.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. I don't know why this game reminded me of SteamWorld Dig, but it did in some way that I can't even explain. And as somebody who I know loves SteamWorld Dig and Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
I think you're really gonna like this game.
I actually, after I finally gave up on Shadow Labyrinth, which was 2 weeks ago, since the last time I played it, I was like, okay, I'm going to play Donkey Kong now. And I haven't played my Switch too much since, you know, the first couple of weeks. It was in the dock, and I was like, all right, I was going to play it in handheld mode. So I pulled it out, and I was ready to play it, and the battery was dead. I was like, what the heck? So I don't even know why the battery was dead. It was in the dock. The charger was plugged in.
Was it plugged in? Okay, so on like day 2 of the Switch 2, mine wouldn't turn on for some reason.
What?
That's scary.
If you Google it, there is an issue. Maybe you said you haven't played it since the beginning. Maybe it hasn't updated. There was an
might not
issue
have.
like at launch. You have to like hold down the power button for a while and like plug it in. If you search your issue, there's like a page on Nintendo's website for this issue, because I had it too. I was freaking out. Like day 2, my Switch 2 wouldn't turn on. I was like,
That's
but
rough.
Yeah, I was like not happy when I sat next. It's been on the dock, so I was like, it should be charged, but it was completely dead. Like
it's probably fine. It's just you gotta.
so,
Yeah,
that's good.
There were lots of weird battery issues too with the Switch too early. Like I had to do some weird bypass that Nintendo of America recommended, and like my battery seemed to be dying super
You're like
fast.
tracking the battery wrong.
Yeah,
It's
so
so
weird.
weird.
Like at one point I went from like after I did the fix, I think prior to the fix, which was pretty easy. It was basically just resetting the system in like a certain order with button presses, but like it was like 67%. And then after the update, it was like 89%. And I was like, what the? It was so weird.
I gained battery life.
And I feel like that was a pretty common experience. And I still think there's a lot of people that have Switch 2s that are using them that haven't done that battery fix yet. And so they might be having issues still. It's kind of weird.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'm sure I haven't updated mine since maybe the first week or two, because I played Mario Kart a decent amount, and then I've just been playing other things. I haven't been playing it that much. But I do want to play Donkey Kong soon, so I need to figure out what that issue was. So I'll check that out. Thanks for the heads up, Zach.
Yep.
Okay, so another game I've been playing was the Rogue Prince of Persia.
Nice.
When this is literally what happened. Donkey Kong didn't work. I put my Switch back on the dock. I picked up my PlayStation Portal, and I was like, I'd already downloaded Rogue Prince of Persia, so I was like, I guess this is what I'm playing now. So I just started playing that. And I've played it. I've basically 100%ed it. It's
wow.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. So it's called the Rogue Prince of Persia. So it is a roguelite. It is, so meaning you have to do multiple runs to truly finish the game. You unlock new stuff each run. And honestly, so it's made by the Dead Cells team. the same team that worked on. I don't know if they made Dead Cells or they just worked on it. I was a little confused because they say this is their first real release, but they also say they worked on Dead Cells. So I probably should have done more
Weird.
research, but
No, I thought it was the Dead Cells people. That's my understanding.
yeah, that's
So
what
yeah,
I
it's
thought
weird.
too. It's evil robot or something like that. That's not it. Evil Empire, maybe, whatever. Anyway, so I like Dead Cells. I played Dead Cells. I really enjoyed Dead Cells. This game definitely has that feel. The runs feel very similar to the Dead Cell runs. It's funny because you mentioned Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This is obviously a different team. This is a different game. Like, it's only, similar in the fact that it's using the Prince of Persia IP, but I am impressed by the fact that Ubisoft has 2 years in a row released a new Prince of Persia game that I've really enjoyed. And I have no experience with the series prior to Lost Crown last year. I loved Lost Crown. It was easily one of my favorite games last year, easily one of my favorite Metroidvanias of all time. It's a fantastic game. As far as roguelites go, I really enjoy the genre, and this one is extremely good. This, to me, feels like a great entry-level roguelite. For somebody who is interested in the genre, but doesn't know where to start. It's not, because it's definitely not one of the more difficult ones. It's forgiving. Of course, this may change according to skill level and stuff like that. But playing through this game, you can look at a bestiary to see how many times you've died against which enemies. And by the time I finished the game, I'd only died to get versus a few bosses once or twice. So overall, it didn't take me long to kind of play through and get the flow going to just kind of finish a run, immediately roll into the next run and unlock more stuff. But there's a decent amount of weapons, decent amount of tools that you can use that add a nice variety to it. The level. So one of the things that does really well is you can choose your path. So there's it starts off, there's 2 levels you can pick from at the beginning. And then once you finish one of those levels, you can choose from one of a couple levels. And then, then you get to the first boss, and then it kind of keeps going. And then as you play and the story progresses, you unlock more levels to give you more options in each of those paths, which is pretty nice. All of the levels are enjoyable. The enemy versatility felt pretty good. They, some of them are very easy, but some of them are tricky, and you had to learn their movement patterns and everything. I don't have any complaints with this game, other than it's a little easy for a roguelite, but that's not a problem, because I think that it's good to have games in a genre that you can recommend to people as being an easier entry point. It's not too easy. But yeah, I really liked it. It's a hard thing to talk too much about because it's specific. It's part of an overarching genre. So if you played a roguelite, you kind of understand what this is. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm basically done with it. There are 2 trophies that are glitched right now that they have.
That's always lame.
Yeah, so they can't unlock. But until they release an update, which they can't, then I'll go back and probably have to do 1 or 2 more runs just to finish those up. Because anyway. But other than that, I've done just about everything. There's some costumes I haven't unlocked, but it is cool because there's unlockable costumes for every Ubisoft main characters: Rayman, Ezio, Sam Fisher. They have a bunch of them. And that's just kind of cool.
That's cool
because they don't. It's not just you're now running around as Rayman. They give you a skin that kind of color codes you to look like Rayman. And they have some too. They have one that's called the Italian, and it's red and blue. It's obviously a Mario shout out. And they have one that's called the Turtle, and it's orange and blue, and it's definitely a shout out to Dragon Ball. It kind of looks like Goku's ki. Shout out to the Turtle Hermit.
Nice.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was free on PlayStation Plus Extra, so that's.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's why I ended up playing it right away. I started the extra tier last year, and I'm really glad I have. It's opened. It's helped me I've started playing more games that I might not have played at launch. And I'm enjoying that aspect of it. 3 of the games I'm going to talk about are all because they were on this extra tier.
I feel like people don't talk enough about, like, everyone says like, oh, Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. PlayStation Plus Extra is awesome.
Yeah.
I personally have unsubbed from Game Pass, and I still have PlayStation Plus Extra. There's a lot of good games on that just are free.
Yeah.
Are free. You're paying for them, but
I-
available.
100%. Like yeah, it's $17 a month or whatever, but I'm definitely getting my money's worth. Like, I'm glad I played this game. There's not a physical release for it, but I've talked about this before. When I play a game and I really like it, I will buy it physically.
Mhm.
Like Tunic was a good example of that. It was free on PlayStation Plus. I hadn't played it. I loved it, and I still haven't bought it, but I will buy a copy of that to have on the shelf to play it again at a different point. This game, I would absolutely own it and play it again. So, like, just because they released it digitally, and it was, they obviously get money from Sony and from Microsoft when they do this, but like, it works too, because like, I will speak highly of this game. I will suggest it to people who want to play a roguelite, and I will gladly buy a physical copy of it at some point too, to own, if they ever do a physical. But yeah, it's free on if you have extra, so
Yeah,
definitely play
I
it.
think I'll download it. Yeah, because have you played Dead Cells?
Yeah, I love Dead Cells.
Yeah, so I love Dead Cells as well. This game was on my radar, and I feel like did it come out of nowhere? Like, I know it was announced, but did it was the release date known? I feel like it just kind of showed up one day.
I'd forgotten about it, and then all of a sudden it was released. Apparently, it was in open beta on PC for a long time,
Yeah,
and I'm not
yeah.
a PC gamer, so like, I had no idea it was. People have been playing it for months on PC. But yeah, it seemed like out of nowhere all of a sudden it released. But yeah, 100% recommend. Like, I really enjoyed it, and the nice thing is, like you said, you love Dead Cells, so you'll like this game. And I think I look forward to hearing what you think about it too, because I feel like it's Dead Cells light. Like, Dead Cells is difficult as far as roguelites go. It's fun, but it is difficult. This feels like very much easier, and like, if you really like this game and you haven't played Dead Cells, you'll feel very comfortable moving into Dead Cells next.
Yeah, play this then Dead Cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
That's great. I will download that after this.
Yeah, I think you'll like it for sure.
And also, you mentioned Sam Fisher. Bring back Splinter Cell, please and thank you, Ubisoft.
I was thinking about it. I wonder. This is a little off topic, but on Splinter Cell, they are bringing back Splinter Cell, by the way. But we should get together and do like a local LAN party on Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory.
Dude,
because you can still do local LAN on PS2.
You don't know how much I would enjoy that. Can we please do that stat?
Yeah.
That would be great.
That'd be fun. If you want to come up here from Texas, Zach,
Yeah, come on over,
yeah,
man.
we can do some.
Wait, Zach, have you ever? I don't know. It was mainly PS. Was it PS2 or PS? It was,
It was
I
on
think-
all three: PS2,
Yeah.
GameCube, and Xbox.
And then PS3 360 had like Chaos Theory and some other versions. But
that was Gen 6 too.
We've talked about this on the podcast before, Zach. But there was a multiplayer mode in some versions of Splinter Cell that was called Spies vs. Mercs, where one person played as this. One person, was it a team of spies or was it just one spy?
Spies versus Merc. It was like 2v2, I think.
Yeah. So basically, there's two spies, like in a facility, playing in third person mode, trying to like extract information from these like computers, basically. And then there's two mercs playing in first person mode, basically shooter style, trying to stop them from doing so. It made for such interesting gameplay and interactions, and the maps were so interesting. So many fun memories. Like, I've heard too, Chris, that that there are people. I've heard that there are people that still play on the servers. I could be wrong on that.
So there's a surprising amount of PS2 games that still have servers up, whether they were never shut down or people have remade. Like, I know Resident Evil Outbreak has a really popular online community because people have remade the servers and you can play them online on your PS2.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Splinter Cell made its money on the first player campaign modes, and for good reason. Those are great games. But like, man, what I remember is the multiplayer. Spies vs. Mercs was incredible. Yeah, let's do that. What
you're saying is Ubisoft needs to make a 2v2 Spies versus Mercs.
Oh my gosh.
Modern game.
Yeah, just make that the game. Oh my, I would lose my mind.
I think the problem is it might be too slow for today's audience.
I think it would be.
Like, because everybody's used to the frenetic speed of Fortnite and Call of Duty. What's that called? Their online mode. Like, those
Warzone.
are Warzone. Yeah. the audience for something like, because it was slow. Like the
Yeah.
goal wasn't, you're not running through there shooting everything up. It's 2v2. The spies are hiding, they're sneaking around, and the mercs are, they're trying to find them while also not making a lot of noise, because if the spy ends up coming from the ceiling or coming out of a vent, they'll kill you. So
Yeah, they grab you around the neck, they whisper into the mic, and then they snap, and then you go bye. But yeah, dude, you're right though. It was a little cat and mouse. It would be maybe counter to what a modern audience would want, but
I think
it was so creative.
Yeah, I definitely think there's an audience for it. I just wonder if a company like Ubisoft would have the huevos to do it. Like,
Yeah, with the way the leeway.
If you're trying to appeal to everyone, you're appealing to no one. They should make more smaller games that like appeal to a certain audience and just really drill into it, rather than trying to make the next big Fortnite thing.
I 100% agree.
I would check out a 2v2 Spies versus Murray. That sounds cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Or they could do another Assassin's Creed.
Or they could do one of those. I have never played one of those. Just make a bigger and bigger and bigger one.
either have I. I have Black Flag. Black Flag will be my first Assassin's Creed one day. But
I played the Ezio ones back in the day, but I've fallen off that series. I have a friend who still checks them out, and he played, was it Odyssey, and then Valhalla. Those games just keep like,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
Yes,
They keep expanding when they should be contracting.
yeah, at a base level, the series has just never interested me. I like the concept of like the fact that somebody from the present is being, mind melded into the past to play out. That's like, I think that's cool, but I don't know. I've never played one. One day.
they're fun. I mean, I've only played, like I said, I played the Ezio trilogy, and they're fun. They're fun games.
Yeah. All right, Zach, what else have you been playing?
I will stick on the PlayStation Plus Extra train. Guess it came out a couple weeks ago now. The Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, I've been
heard of
playing
this
that
one?
too.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's basically you're a little dude on a sword, I guess the Sword of the Sea, and you just you're surfing around in like a desert landscape that's like absent of life. It's very desolate, sad, and it's one of those. It's made by the people who made like Abzu, Journey, The Pathless, all that. So it's like it's a vibes game. Like there's no dialogue. It's just like subtle music in the background. Just kind of hanging out. And what you do is you basically just wander these sandy areas, and you find some sort of like little landmark or thing, and you interact with it. And when you interact with it, it like brings in water and life to that area, and it just changes the landscape around you. And you're just going around and like basically bringing life to this map. Straightforward concept. It's fun to control because you're immediately just surf around jumping. I think you start with a double jump, which is like always a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, agreed.
And you can, and then they put half pipes around, and eventually you can just do tricks. So you're just going little half pipes doing tricks. It's a really cool, just like relax, chill out. It's a short game. I think I beat it in 3 sittings. I played like an hour at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You could beat it in 1 sitting if you just knock it all out at once.
Yeah, it is really short. Beautiful though. Like,
oh yeah, it's very pretty.
When you add the water to the area or whatever, however you want to word it, like it becomes so scenic and so easy to look at. Like I played some of it on my Portal, some of it on the TV, and it's definitely, the Portal has a great screen, so it still looks good, but man, it looks good on a TV. Like,
oh yeah, if you've got a big TV, the bright colors,
oh yeah,
play on a big TV.
It's very pretty, very aesthetic, very chill. Like you said, it's Journey is one of those games that's kind of like in my sins category as a Sony fan. Like, I've still never played Journey, and I've had a lot of people tell me I should, but I did play The Pathless, which is another one of their games, and I really liked that. But this game, it's nice and short. Like you said, like I probably beat it in like 3 sittings too. Like, not very long at all, but it's very easy to look at, and it's nice not to have stress. There's no stress to it. You don't die. You know, like you fall off the map, you don't die.
Yeah, I think you don't even think you can like lose really. Like at the end of the game, I guess there's some more things like you said you can fall off, and it just kind of like puts you back on there and just keep going.
Yeah,
you can't really lose. But yeah, and PlayStation Plus Extra. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have dove into this game. But
Yeah.
It was there. I downloaded it, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, same. I definitely. I mean, if I would have played it, it probably would have been a way long ways down the road. But having
Exactly,
access
yeah.
to it, I was just like, it had the look of a game that would probably be kind of short. So that's kind of why I moved into it. But really enjoyed it. And talking about the movement too, like it feels good. Like because like
Yep.
you said, you're literally like surfing along the sand and then eventually the water on your sword, and it just the way it moves just feels really good. And there's a lot of like half pipes and stuff, and it actually almost
Yeah.
has like a Tony Hawk vibe to it, where you can
Yep.
do tricks
Yep.
when you're coming back, going off the half pipe jumps and moving around. It's an interesting concept.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Had a good
really
time with
really liked it. Very pretty though. Like I don't think I could say that enough about this game. Like visually just stunning.
Yep.
All right, James.
Yeah. So another one that's not an under the radar game by any means, but I was very busy playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, so much so that I do take my Switch with me to work, and when it's a slow day, I get to actually play it, and that's pretty nice. And having living in a video game landscape now where we have things like Steam Deck and Switch is actually very, very nice, because my lifestyle day to day makes it so I can't a lot of times sit in front of a TV and play the games I want to play, so it's kind of rough sometimes. But I left my Switch at work one weekend, and I was actually off work for like 5 days, and I was like, oh, okay. And I've been meaning to start this game forever, and so I re-upped my Game Pass. Speaking of gaming subscriptions, and I got this game. This is the game I'm thinking about when I'm not playing it right now. It's the game with the best mimes since Mr. Mime. It's the game Teaching Me Bad Words in French. Yes, it is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Have you played this yet, Zach?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Chris, have you played it yet, Chris?
I have not. I'm going to be playing it this fall
Okay.
though. I pre-ordered the Amazon version of it.
Yeah. So DK and this, you got a couple bangers to play. I have not beat it yet. I'm probably 15-ish hours in, which isn't as much as I'd like, honestly. It's very good.
It's very good.
It's very, very good. Like on the surface, it's just a turn-based RPG, but that sells it way, way short. Like made by a small team in France. I don't know do you know what the developer?
Sandfall Interactive.
Sandfall Interactive.
Yeah.
Fittingly, it oozes French culture, love, language, all the above. And I was initially going to play this with subs. Generally I like to play games and watch like anime, for example, with the intended language first, and I'll just read subs. I like because I feel like a lot of times you miss some cues and some like emotional beats. But then I learned that Charlie Cox voiced the main character in English. For
The
those who
voice
aren't,
cast is like a pretty heavy voice cast. It's English voice cast.
Yeah.
It is
Ben
so.
Starr too, the guy who did Clive.
Ben Starr's in there. Yep.
yeah. Charlie Cox was Daredevil, and big fan. Anyways,
Yep.
So I went English, no regrets there. This game like gets you to bite first with its story and its setting, and then it hooks you with how fun and amazing the combat is. But like the premise, and I think we've talked about it very minimally before, because I remember we did this got dropped initially on like an Xbox Direct, I think, last year, and it was probably just like an afterthought game for Microsoft themselves and for a lot of people watching. I remember being like my curiosity being piqued, but I remember my takeaway from that show was like, oh man, I can't wait for for Perfect Dark, the next one, to come out. And now that game's been canceled. Which is really depressing. But this game, so dang good. The premise is basically like humanity is facing extinction from this super scary villainess called the Paintress, who paints a number on a tower each year, causing everyone of that age to vanish. And like Thanos snap style, like they literally go away. It's heavy stuff.
A countdown of the years. Yeah.
Yes. So I've already forgotten some of the lore, but I think it's been going on since it's been going on for dozens of years at the point this game begins. There's been plenty of other like expeditions that have set out, and they basically try to end this misery that the Paintress has basically held humanity hostage for years and years and years.
Is this the 33rd expedition?
This is Expedition 33. So everyone on this expedition is, well, they're obviously not 33 because if they were, they'd be dead.
Yeah, so yeah, I think what the lore, yeah, so if you're 33, you die. So everyone's 32 or younger.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Correct. And they call that event that happens in this city Lumiere. I think Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast, but the city is called Lumiere. They call it the gommage whenever when everyone of that age, when the number is painted and people disappear, and so they it's really a heavy game, like story wise, like it's heavy, like
they hook you quick.
They really do, man, and it makes you contemplate like mortality and just really, really heavy, like even somewhat depressing at times, but in a good way because you're rooting for the best outcome. But man, yeah, it's so compelling. Like right from the get-go, you're like, I got to see how this ends, and man, once you start the battles, you're just like, I can't stop playing. I can't stop thinking about it. It's so good. Turn-based RPG, but it reminds me, and I don't know what it reminded others of, but there's a lot of like timing-based. So there's you take turns, a la a turn-based RPG, but in the middle of the battle, when bosses attack you, you either dodge or you counter or you jump up and counterattack, and they add layers as the game goes on to make these battles even more like engaging. But it's so good. It's so good.
You know, the best part about the game is it doesn't stop getting better. It just keeps whole story-wise, combat-wise, it just keeps getting better the whole time. It's so good.
I am really excited to play that game. That game is right up my alley. Like it's everything that I like to play. So
and I think it's like a $40 game, a $50 game. It's like it's not a full 70. It's a moderately priced game. And this is another. So spoiler, this is my game of the year so far. I love this game.
I don't blame you.
It's another game that I've 100%ed. I dove into it, everything there was. There's a lot of side content. You can really spend your time, sink some time in this game if you want to. If you just main path it, you're still going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. The story is very compelling. You care about the characters. There's a lot of like just characters talking to each other moments, which just kind of fleshes them out.
I like that.
And then of course the combat. I love Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That's like one of my favorite turn-based RPGs, and I like the fact that you can, if you're good enough, you can dodge or counter everything in the game. Yeah, and that's how this game is. If you're good enough, you won't take damage. You can. Yeah. There was one boss I was clearly underleveled for early in the game, and I was like, I'm gonna beat this boss. And I sat there for a couple hours just learning it perfectly.
Yeah.
Where I was dodging and parrying every attack, and I think it was like a 30-minute boss fight for me. And I leveled up like 20 times. It was so satisfying.
Dude, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, this game's awesome.
I feel like it does feel Dark Soulsy in that way, and that you, like me personally, I'm not very good, so I spend a lot of deaths. I spend a lot of time dying, learning kind of the pace of when they attack and their patterns, so that I can. Because like I could dodge, but the kind of player I am, I'm like, it's much more satisfying to counter and get some damage in, And I feel like it's probably I'm not super. I don't know how far I am into the game. It feels like I'm a ways in, but like I feel like I'm going to be rewarded more for learning and getting comfortable with counterattacking more than just dodging. So
for sure, yeah, like counterattacking is the optimal way for sure, but at some point you got to swallow your pride. Just don't get hit. So sometimes she's got to start, because dodging is a lot easier, obviously. But this game's awesome.
It's hard. It's hard not to think about this game and like get reminded of Super Mario RPG and, like you said, Mario and Luigi. Like I wonder how much love the French that development team has for those games, because you feel it. You feel the vibes.
They're also really big Final Fantasy fans, and if you've played like the PS1 era Final Fantasies, there's a lot of cool Easter eggs in this game, like direct Easter eggs for
really.
For games. Yeah, you'll notice them later in the game.
That's my favorite era of Final Fantasy. So
yeah, they clearly were inspired by some of those games. You'll see some of that.
I will say, like, so there's it's very RPG in that there's an overworld where you travel to a certain area of a map on your way to, eventually the end area, I'm sure. And then you go in there, and it's pretty linear traveling within a zone. Yep. But there's not too many like bad guys. So it's obviously they're overworld bad guys. You can avoid them if you want to, but it's the gameplay is so fun battling that you don't try to avoid them. I don't, at least. But so yeah, generally, like it's pretty linear feeling going from one section like one part of a zone to another, but there's always seems to be branching paths, and they're never pointless. They're all to me feel like pretty thought out, and you always get rewarded for taking a varying path. Like with a bad guy that if you can beat comes with like some kind of cool item or weapon or hold item or what they're called, pictos.
Pictos, yeah.
Those things you attach to get like passive abilities. Like I don't know, like there's parts of the games too, like the battle, like there's elemental properties, which is pretty cliche, I feel like, for RPGs, but I mean, it reminds me of Pokemon stuff, like water beats fire, thunder beats water, etc. kind of stuff. But like all enemies have a weakness, and you use elemental powers to gain an advantage as you're dodging and countering, and like it's just really well designed game, super fun. I'm not super far in, I don't think, and I can already tell why people are saying it's their game of the year. Like it's so dang good, dude. Like
Also,
you're gonna
the music
oh yeah,
is so good. And
Oh.
what continued to blow me away is the music. A lot of games have like a good song and that you'll keep showing up, they keep repeating. This is like there's another new incredible song like around every corner.
dude.
The
I know.
soundtrack is crazy.
I still remember that meme that Joel shared on the Discord, like "Oops, all bangers," like the "Oops, all crunchberries," like referring to the music in this game. Like, man, the music is so good. But the one that always pops in my head is that, the little Lumiere song. But man, the music's this game is. I can't wait to beat it. Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm taking so long. Is I'm taking every path. I'm battling every bad guy. I'm not rushing this at all because I'm enjoying every minute of it. So it's really good.
That's good. It's nice when you don't want to just blow through it. Like you want to enjoy every minute.
You're gonna like it, Chris. Like I don't know how you can play this game and not like it, but especially as an RPG fan and a turn-based, like it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. That's one of the things, like when I started reading people talk about it and their whole thing was they wanted it to be a JRPG, like a love letter more to the old school JRPGs, even commenting on the fact that Final Fantasy's gotten so far away from that, which I still love Final Fantasy, but they aren't JRPGs anymore. They aren't traditional turn-based JRPGs. And it's nice to have somebody who cares about that, and they're bringing it back a little bit. And just the popularity of it shows that there's still a lot of appreciation for that style of game.
Yeah. Did you see at PAX there was lots of people walking around with the Expedition 33 suits on, and there was apparently a panel with I think some of the developers, which I wanted to go to, but I'm like, if I go to this,
the voice
everything's
actors
gonna be
were there
spoiled.
too.
Is that who? Oh,
yeah.
Wait, was Charlie Cox there? Was Charlie Cox there?
I know Ben Starr was there. I don't know if he was.
Yeah. You know what'd be really funny is if everyone's assuming this is going to win Game of the Year or it's one of the favorites, but then like the other French game won Game of the Year, and by that I mean Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh yeah.
That would be really funny.
I think this game's got so much good vibes, and so many people played it. This game, I'd be surprised if something came out that took this.
Yeah, it feels like a runaway favorite based on what people are saying.
And
I've enjoyed people have been calling it a le RPG.
It's funny to say this too, but the Game Awards you can kind of almost feel like what game might win Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and this feels like the game this year that it just has the feel of a Game Awards Game of the Year. So I don't know what that means, like about the Game Awards, but
I know what you mean though. This does kind of check that box. It's like a pretty game. It's also a good story too. It's a smaller team, really successful.
Yeah.
It's a good a win for the industry kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Industry win, which is like they love that. The awards love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, another game that I've been playing is a series that I've wanted to play for a long time. I remember all the way back on PS2. I remember when this game was coming out, reading about it in what magazine was it? It was not. It might have been Game Informer, but I want to say it was EGM, like Electronic Gaming's Monthly. It was coming from Japan. It looked really weird, and it was like right up the alley of something I wanted to play, and I never played it. This is the first time I played one, and that is the Katamari series.
Heck yeah!
So on the Vita, I picked up recently Touch My Katamari. I just happened to have it sitting here, so that's why I brought it up, just to show you guys. But I like I've talked about, like I'm going for a Vita set. So this was one I picked up in a lot not in the last month, and I was like, I'm gonna play it right away because I don't own any of the Katamari games. Like I said, I remember when the PS2 Katamari Damacy came out, like thinking it was really weird and just such a cool concept or neat concept, and I was all about anything Japanese when I was a teenager too. And I just never got it. It was like a $20 game, and I don't know why I never bought it. And then I've to this date never played one. But yeah, I played this one on the Vita, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I mean, the whole concept is you're the prince, the little guy, prince of the cosmos, and you go to these different areas and you roll things up. You start with your little ball. It's called a katamari, and you just roll. And you roll and you roll and you roll. And as you roll and the ball gets bigger, you're able to roll up bigger things. And it's strange, because you start out, you're rolling up coins and batteries and whatever else on the level. But then as it gets bigger, you're now rolling up people and cars and the whole planet later on. Like you're just rolling away everything you can. It is a very simple concept. It's a very strange concept. But it's fun. Like, I don't know. It's just fun to roll around and like, there's something too about the feeling of like, have either of you guys played Katamari before?
Yep.
I have not actually.
Okay. So you might tell me what you think about this, Zach, though, because this was my first one, but I enjoyed the idea of being like, I should be able to pick that up. And then rolling it to it, and it's too big. I can't pick it up. So then I'm like, how much bigger do I need to get so I can pick that thing up? And like, getting just big enough where you can now pick that up before you level up your ball. Because you can tell there's a little cinematic that plays when the ball gets bigger. The screen like kind of zooms out, and then you can pick up smaller stuff easier. But I don't know. It's just a weird game, but very chill. The Vita version, I think, is unique in the fact that you can use the rear touchscreen to stretch, like morph the ball. You can stretch it out to make it long to get under like short areas, or you can squish it to make it like tall and thin to like get, behind like small, tight areas or whatever. And I liked that mechanic. Overall, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. It's made me want to go play other games in the series. It's very weird. The King of the Cosmos is very strange. Like,
it's very strange.
Yeah, and he's in this. I was watching a trailer for one of the newer ones. I think We Heart Katamari, which I think is a remake, but that doesn't matter. And the king looks a little more cartoony. In this one, he has like disturbingly real eyes. Like he's got like his eyes are very much so humanoid, and like I don't know how to explain it, but like they took human eyes and put it on his face, and then like a human mouth. It's very weird. But yeah, he's very strange. He's always talking about style and like you just don't have that style yet, young prince, and like it's very interesting. But it was fun. Yeah. I played through it. It's just on the trophy aspect of things, for whatever reason, it doesn't have a platinum, which it's a physical release, and most physical releases have a platinum, but I still got all the trophies in it, just for fun because I wanted to. It definitely has the vibe of there's a lot of like they want you to go to the store to buy things, not levels, but like other like like you can buy fans. Like I don't know if that's common across the series, but you can buy a fan that you can then sell to a character in the game that gives you hearts, so you can get more candies, so you can buy more outfits and stuff. It's a weird thing, but yeah, it was my first foray into the series. I haven't looked into it much, but I kind of get the feeling that maybe this isn't one of people's favorites because I never hear anybody talk about it. But I enjoyed it. So if there's other games that people like more, I'm looking forward to trying those out now.
Yeah. So a little context. I think I remember this correctly. The guy who directed the first couple Katamaris, I think he only did like the first two.
Okay.
I think those are the ones that people are like really passionate about. Those two are also, they just got remastered. They're available on like Switch and PlayStation. I think it's Katamari Damacy and when you said We Love Katamari, maybe, or something.
I think
those are the first two, and those are the ones that like I think the original creator was involved in, and those are the ones I think people are more highly regarded. But I really love Katamari. I want to play all of them. I haven't played the Vita one, but
I mean,
they're making a new one. They're also making a new one coming out this year.
Yeah, I remember
That's
saying
right.
that. So that'll probably be my next one, just because. Why not play the new one? But I do want to
Yep.
go back and try to play whichever ones I can. Like I know there was one on PS3 and one on 360 and probably other ones throughout the years. It's a game where I can imagine if there's, I don't know how many there are, but say there's 6 of them. I can imagine overall they're going to be very similar, but
Oh yeah.
it's that it's also like such a chill kind of rewarding gameplay loop that it doesn't matter that they're very similar. Like I'm not going to sit there and play them back to back, but like
Yeah.
I can see myself wanting to kind of go back to that vibe again and then trying a new one that I haven't played before.
Yeah, it's a very simple concept. Make ball big,
Yeah.
roll, and the music's pretty fun. And it's very strange and very unique in like the. It's kind of dumb, but I always laugh at this. Is one level in Katamari Damacy when you get big enough to like roll up like humanoid size things, and there are humans that kind of like pop around the levels, you know. There's one level that has like police officers, and when you get a certain size, they freak out and they just start unloading on you. And it makes me laugh every time because it's these goofy little like static people, and they just turn around and start like freaking out on you, and then you go roll them up, and then I love when your ball gets like you get something long and you're not like a sphere, and you kind of like lump like imagine like rolling a ball that had like a piece of wood glued to the side. It'll do that weird like topple. So yeah, these games are super fun. I'm glad you checked out one of them.
Yeah, I'm glad I played it too. I kind of just had the feeling I'd like them. Like, you get to know what kind of games you'll probably like as you play a bunch of games over the years. I knew I'd like it. I wish I wouldn't have waited so long, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. How many more games do you guys have to talk about?
I can talk about just like one quick, maybe not a game, but like a platform.
Sure.
I've been trying to play more of my Playdate.
Nice.
So cool.
Nice.
So I got this thing a couple years ago when it came out, and the way this system works is it comes with a season of games, and every week, it's like they don't come all downloaded. You come with like 2 games, and every week it'll automatically download the next game for you. So it's supposed to feel like something you keep on your pocket or on your desk, and every time you pick it up, there's something new to play, kind of thing. And it like happens naturally. It downloads on its own. So I really like that concept. And I really got into the Playdate, and I put it down for a couple of years, or however long it's been, a year, 2 years. But anyway, season 2 came out, but unfortunately, it came out like the week before the Switch 2, so it kind of got swamped.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
So I'm trying to like go back and play the season 2 games. I'll talk about one of them. James, you said you're a big Pokemon fan.
Yeah. For sure.
Gen 4, the underground, like the mining.
Mhm.
So
Dude.
There's a game in here called Dig Dig Dino, and it's literally just Gen 4 fossil mining, but like turned into like a loop game. Like you dig up materials like gold or fossils, and you go back to your camp and you buy upgrades for your drill and your hammer, and you go back and you dig deeper and you get more. It's like SteamWorld Dig cross Gen 4 Pokemon fossil mining.
God, that's a
Oh,
good
man.
combination.
And it's like a 5-hour game. It's like just long enough to like where you feel satisfying upgrades, but it doesn't stick around too long. But yeah, it's the gimmick of the thing is it has the crank. So
Yeah.
you have the D-pad and A and B button, and some games use the crank. Not all of them use the crank. I like when like there's one I'm playing that's like kind of like a Guitar Hero, where you're tuning up and down and like timing your A button presses with cranking up and down the screen.
Huh,
cool.
So there's a lot of cool ideas on here, and there are a lot of like what I appreciate about it. It's a lot of like first time indie people like putting early attempts at making games on here. So like the games are there's an eShop equivalent on here called I think it's called Catalog, where you can buy games that are like anywhere from $2 to $8, and you're gonna get varying levels of like quality of games, but it's just cool to like experience some, like a lot of these are like small budget, trying to make a game for the first time things, and it's just a fun little platform. I'm trying to like keep it on my person more to like whip it out of my pocket like when I have 5 minutes kind of thing. But unfortunately, the Switch 2 has been kind of dominating my interest as of late. But
yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with something like that. I love the idea of the Playdate though. They had it at PAX last year, and I
Yeah.
almost bought one. Like I was really close because I played around with it. I really liked the what I played. I just struggled with the price. I couldn't talk
They're a
myself
little
into
price.
it.
They're a little price, and I will say they are more expensive now than they were
I know
back at launch.
they raised the
So,
price, which makes me wish I would have just bought one last year because they were still I know it was before they raised it. It was still 200, I think. But I just love I like short form content. Like I love the idea of just shorter games. I love the idea of it being something that should have short games, and then sometimes people put a game on there that's just really deep. Like
Yep.
I'm a big fan of stuff like that. You know, like it makes me think of like the DSiWare games where you just find these random hidden gems. I don't know. I love just the 1-bit look too. Like
Yep.
I'm all for it. Like
Yeah.
I want to get one eventually. I really love the concept of it.
I had fun demoing it at PAX too. I don't think I was ever gonna bite the bullet and spend the money, but like I immediately was like, it's appealing, the design and the crank and the like graphical style of the game. So it's funny hearing you talk about mining and Gen 4 Pokemon. Like I remember BDSP was, people were just kind of like, okay, meh, like we wanted something better. But the one thing I liked most about it is they didn't change the mining feature at all. Like it was just the same, and I was like, that's good. That's good times, surprisingly.
Yeah, that was.
They
I
didn't,
spent more
change,
time
they didn't
there
change
than
much
anywhere
about BDSP, honestly.
Yeah,
It's kinda- BDSP was just kind of Gen 4 again. But
Yeah. They could have tried harder for sure.
else. They definitely could.
Did you get it at launch when it didn't have like the start screen, like the what was it, like the launch day? It didn't have the full like title screen loaded in. It had like.
Are you
patch
for
it in.
real?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't patch it, it like didn't have the title screen.
Mhm.
Correct.
There was a day one update to
Yeah.
to patch it in.
I mean, we've talked about like on the collector's edition how many different like versions of the physical game there are because of the different patches, and they have like varying values for collectors. But like,
That's funny.
some of the best parts of BDSP too were like those not fully patched versions when you could shortcut to Shaman like through the water somehow and go straight to the island. Like I remember trying to soft reset a shiny Shaman for hours and hours and hours before I was just like, I need to move on, and I left the island. But
You messed up.
I messed up. I gave up. I shouldn't have given up.
All right, James. What about you?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much. I mean, the two main games I've been playing are the ones I said. I mean, I could say Stardew Valley a touch because, they had a tour recently, and PAX weekend they came to Seattle and they played at Benaroya Hall, the Symphony of Seasons, which was like the official musical tour for Stardew Valley. It was wonderful. It was their music in Stardew Valley is translates surprisingly well to like a symphony, and it just reinforced that the best music in the game is the winter songs. That's fact. That is objective. It's not an opinion. I'm sorry, guys. And Stardew Valley's a great time. One of the best games ever, honestly.
You might be
Stardew's
right,
one of my
though.
bigger gaming sins. One of my bigger gaming sins. I've never played Stardew.
What?
I know I would love Stardew Valley. I'm kind of afraid. I know it's like right up my alley. Every box is checked.
Dude,
and
it's so
I
good.
will play it one day. But
Dude.
part of me is like kind of waiting for that. Was it the Haunted Chocolatier or whatever? Maybe I'll jump in on that one when the new game comes out. But then I'm also like, I should just play Stardew because it's Stardew Valley. I should.
It's
just
so
play it.
good,
Dude,
And if you have
play it.
anybody else that you could play with too, like the multiplayer is fantastic. Like
Dude,
it's
play
fun.
it.
It's fantastic solo. It's fantastic multiplayer. Like, the Concerned Ape just nailed that game. It's fantastic.
Oh, by the way, Concerned Ape, as you know, another Seattleite like Dan Osen. Or at least he's a Washingtonian. I don't know that he's.
Those two
technically
names are
Seattle.
often uttered in the same circles.
Yeah. But Concerned Ape was there for PAX. I think he did a couple panels and he did like some autographing and stuff. But he showed up at the concert too. Everyone was freaking out, and because he composed the music in the game. He literally made the game all on his own, which is incredible accomplishment. And he announced the next patch of the game, which is like 1.7 or something.
He just
People
keeps
were
making
losing their
content for
mind.
that game.
Dude,
I played that game a lot. Like not
Yeah.
at launch, but when it came, I played it on PC. Then I played it when it came to Switch, and I played it a lot both times. And then
Yeah.
it was like 2 years ago, I played it on PlayStation, and me and my friend were playing through it together. There was so much content that was not on either of the playthroughs before,
Dude.
and I'm sure there's way more content now. Like guy just keeps adding stuff to this game. It is crazy. Like,
it is an endless portal of delight. It is such a good game, and like I flipped on that. Like part of me was having played it a lot, like when it first dropped on Switch, like 2017 or whatever, 2018. I can't remember what year it dropped on Switch, but like, I was like, okay, we have to move on now, man. Make the next game. But like, the more he does, and the more he like perfects the game and makes it like the full vision of what he wants it to be, the more I'm like, doing what you're doing, because you're making something that's already beautiful even better. And like he even as a joke, he asked the audience at the concert, he's like, all right guys, what do you want for what do you want me to do in patch 1.7? Everyone started like screaming what they wanted in the patch, you know, and he's just like, I think he's like, oh, and then at the end he's like, oh, so you want us to make fishing harder? Okay, I'll do that for you. You know, everyone started cracking up. But like, that game is so beloved for.
Uh-oh, you froze. James, why is it beloved?
Music and stuff.
It's beloved for its music?
No, it's beloved for everything else.
Oh,
but
you cut out.
Included.
Yeah.
Oh
you
my!
can't- yeah.
Oh, did I cut out? No,
Yeah.
it's beloved because it's just an incredible game that feels just so personal to people. Everyone can play it the way they want to and make their own vision of a farm. But
Do we know what Concerned Ape's name is in real life?
Eric Barone.
There
Okay,
you
I was
go.
gonna say, could it be James Armstrong? The mythical other, like,
Oh my god!
James Armstrong.
it's all connected.
Yeah,
Oh my
that would have
God!
been really random and hilarious.
James Barone is Dan Osen is James Armstrong. They're all the same person.
Yeah.
Small world.
Um,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm glad you guys got to go to that concert. A little jealous,
Yeah,
but
It was
glad.
it was good times. It was yeah. I think they're gonna keep doing tours, because he was saying that it's apparently the most popular video game tour now in terms of attendance and money made. Okay, to keep rambling about this, we just looked this up online, and Hannah's like, "What do you want to guess what Eric Barone is worth, having made this game all his own?" Like, and I was like, "I don't know. It's got to be a lot of money, because he's getting all of the proceeds. He's not sharing that with anyone." I was like,
Chucklefish, though.
and I was like,
Chucklefish. What's the game? What's it called? They not publish it, but
"Oh, is that what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
publish
is
it.
that? Oh, okay. So he is sharing with somebody then."
yeah, unless he stopped doing
Still.
that.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna guess like $100 million. And apparently she's saying that like it could be anywhere from like 50 million to like $500 million. No one actually knows what he's worth.
Oh,
That figure's never been dropped, because he doesn't owe anyone those figures, right? He doesn't have like shareholders to drop, to give those figures to. But like, he could be like low key, like almost a billionaire, just having made that game all on his own. It's incredible.
And everybody loves him too. Like,
Yeah.
anybody in that community loves this guy, and he seems like a pretty legit, like, nice dude.
He
that-
seems really cool.
Yeah. So here's to hoping that we don't find out he's a Brett Favre wannabe.
He's a Brett Favre fan.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Haven't you heard the news? No, but I like, also Haunted Chocolatier. Like, what is that going to be? I don't even know, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I have one more game to talk about. I saved the best for last myself. So this game, it was another PlayStation Plus extra game. It came out in July, and I knew nothing about it. Just saw it was multiplayer and thought I'd give it a try with my friend. And it's called Abiotic Factor. Have either of you guys heard about this game?
The name, yes. I don't remember which one this is. I've read those words before.
What's
Okay.
it called again? What's it called again?
Abiotic Factor.
Abiotic Factor.
So, starting the game up, you do a quick tutorial where you're in the back of a car, like a Jeep, in the outback in Australia, heading towards, you don't know where, but it ends up you're heading towards like a little, like, looks like a bunker type thing. And you get, the graphics, it looks like late 90s PC graphics. So like, think Half-Life, Unreal Tournament. So like blocky, but still 3D, but obviously purposeful, because it looks really good. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to explain some of this stuff, because I feel like this will be a hard game to sell with my terrible explanation of things. But so what it is you are a scientist, and you're going to this facility to try to, to do scientist work. You have no idea what you're coming into. So it's like a first person. This game has I mean, I've thought about since we just talked about that we're going to do just a what we've been playing episode. I've been thinking about how the heck I'm going to explain this game, and I'm still struggling. But it's like a little bit Minecraftian in the fact that you have to construct things. So like I kind of feel like it speaks a little bit to the Minecraft audience in that way. Like, you're not building a base, but you have to construct a workbench so that you can make weapons, so that you can make defenses so that you can make anything you need to progress in the game. So, okay, the thing that makes this game great is there is a set path. So you are trying to just progress. You don't know what's going on because they don't give you a bunch of information when you end up in here. You know, you start up in this area, you have to figure out how to get past these doors are locked, so you have to figure out how to get past there. And then there's a guy you move through, and there's a guy at this door saying, "Let me in." Like there's a monster like ate that cord there. You have to figure out how to fix that. So you have to figure out how to build a battery to get through there, so you can go out and explore the facility. What really makes this game great is the amount of paths that you can take to explore everything. Okay, so there's so many different ways you can go, and then when you go to areas, say you start out in just the standard work areas. I am really struggling to explain this game, but you can play it single player, you can play it multiplayer. You can work together to progress through the game, and it's just a lot of fun. Like I've never struggled to explain something so much because it's not a first-person shooter, it's not a strategy game, it's not an action game. It's the game can be played in so many different ways, but it's the fact that you're trying to figure out what's going on. As you move through, you find these messages from different scientists that have worked in this facility, and they, you're getting these little tidbits of like what's going on. Then you start seeing like these weird alien-like creatures that try to attack you. So you have to, fight them off. And the further you go, the crazier things get. Then there's, these soldiers that are just like slaughtering people basically, and you have to fight past them to get to these nuclear silos where you have to figure out how to go through there. And then you end up finding this portal that takes you to this completely different world, like completely different universe. It's the most random game, but it is so structured too. And I'm not even sure how to explain this anymore. I am terrible at this. You know what's funny?
It sounds like there's a lot going on though.
There's a lot going on, but it's so fun. I haven't had this much fun playing a game, like especially multiplayer. Me and my friend Keldrick and my nephew Connor have been playing it, and we play it all the time. We've had days where we've played it for like, on the weekend we've played it for like 8 hours. Like we still aren't done with it, but there's so much to do in this game, and I hate that I'm doing such a bad job explaining it because I don't know how to explain it.
So it's a game you can beat. It's not just like it has a beginning and an end.
Yes. So it is a game you can beat. There are things you can do. Like you do get attacked at your base. You can create a base and it can get attacked. So you have to put up defenses and stuff. There's so much you can do in this game. Like I've gone off and made my own separate, like just living area where I have TVs and arcade machines and like it's, I don't know, guys. If you listen to the podcast and you've come here for 77 episodes, take a minute and just know that I'm stumped on how to explain this game, but I want you all to play it.
I think that's all you have to say.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Abiotic Factor.
Abiotic Factor. Yeah.
It is just an absolute joy. Like I love this game. Like, when you're a kid, I mean, we still do it as adults, but as a kid, you get a game and you can't stop thinking about it until you go home. It's very common when you're a kid, a new Mario game, or for me, like new RPGs, like I couldn't stop thinking about Earthbound until I got back home to play it again. Like games don't do that to me very often anymore. Like doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it, but that childlike wonder is gone a lot of the times. This game gives me that. Like I can't stop thinking about this game because I want to know what happens next. Like there's so much going on in such an entertaining and introspective way. Like it's very sci-fi. It's just so hard to explain, but I love it. Like, and I hate that.
Is it on Switch only?
No.
Or, I mean, I'm sorry, PlayStation only?
It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I don't think it's on Switch, but it could be. It's not very like graphically intensive, but it's just such a good game. And I really hate that I can't figure out how to explain it better. It's just, It
Well, it's
just
clear you like it, so it at least it's checking off that box.
I had no problems explaining how much I hated Shadow Labyrinth, and then yet this game that I love, I cannot figure out how to explain it better to really sell it to people. But it's just really good. It's just really good. Just take my word for it and play it. It's probably more fun played with somebody else. And it's one of those games too, like now that like Stardew Valley, you can play again with anybody, you know, like even though I've played it before, if you were like, hey, I want to play Stardew Valley, will you play with me? I could play it again and you could learn the ropes and it'd be perfectly fine. This game would be hard to play with somebody who's playing it for the first time, because once you know what to do, it makes the game easier and it's more fun to figure out this game with no knowledge of what you're doing and just figure it out as you go. But it is a game I see myself playing again. It's a game I see myself coming back to and doing different things, trying different runs. There's a whole, I don't know. This game screams to me, Joel. If you listen to this episode, this screams a Joel game to me. Like it has a lot of customization that you can do. You can make this game as hard or as easy as you want it to be. It has lots of mods and stuff that they have just built into the game that you can customize. I don't know. I hate being stumped with this. But there's all kind, like you have to learn how to cook and make things, because you have to keep your guy fed. You have to keep him thirsty. You know, you can die from hunger. You can die from being over not hydrated enough. If you don't use a bathroom regularly, he can poop himself and then get sick. It sounds like a sim, but
there's a survival element.
There's a lot of you can obviously die. There's lots of survival elements. It's like Minecraft in the fact that if you die somewhere, you have to go back and get your stuff. You know, like you drop your bag where you die. There's a lot of action in it, lots of exploration. The story is interesting. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it is fun going from area to area. And like I said, there's these portal worlds that give you like a bunch of different vibes. The first one you go to is like an alien planet. You go to one later that's like a closed department store, and it's like a zombie apocalypse outside, and like zombies start coming through, and you have to like fight off these hordes of zombies as you're running around trying to figure out where the power is to turn on the elevator to get to the top floor. There's just a lot of different elements to this game, but at its core, it's survival, it's action, it's exploration, and there's some like base defense aspects to it too. And when I'm assuming my friends who I played it with, Keldrick and my nephew Connor, I'm assuming at some point they'll listen to this episode, and I look forward to them commenting on the Discord and letting everybody know how badly I explained this, because I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this game. But
it's so good you're speechless.
I am. It's like I'm in love.
Words out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's like love. I don't know how to express myself, and that's not. I don't struggle with like words very often. But yeah, I've rambled about it for 15 minutes. But overall, just a fantastic game. I really hope more people play it. That's all I have to say. I don't know. I wish I was explaining it better, and if I'm explaining it terribly, just watch a video and hopefully it helps you. Honestly, just go play it. If you have it somewhere, just play it. It's that good.
That's going to be Zach's next short. What Chris meant to say when he was talking about aviator.
Aviator. Aviotic factor, James.
Aviotic.
Say it right or pay the price.
Aviotic factor in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's great. And honestly, do a short and reference how badly I explained this. You can cut content from this and put it in there.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious, actually.
No, I'll definitely look into this. Clearly, you see something here, so
Dude, it
it's
is
worth looking into at least.
If it wasn't for the fact that it came out last year on PC and it just now came to consoles, it would be my game of the year. It might still be my game of the year, but it can't be my new game of the year.
Sure. Yeah.
I've really enjoyed every minute with it. But yeah, that was a great note to end it on, me rambling and not being able to explain something. But Abiotic Factor, fantastic game. Shadow Labyrinth,
we felt
not fantastic.
We felt the love, though, Chris. We felt the love.
That's good. Well, luckily for you guys, I'll still post this, because if I was doing a YouTube video and I rambled like that, this would never get posted. Yeah. So I think that's probably a good place to close it. We're coming up at 3:15 pretty soon here. The episode will start to try to cut over to a new file, and we'll start screwing things up. So it's a good place to end it. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. Zach, I'm glad we could make
Yeah,
this
this
happen.
is a blast. Yeah, this is awesome.
Good. I'm glad you had
I a lot of
fun. I had fun. Like I said, I want to get you back on here. We'll have you on again to talk about a specific subject. But I appreciate you working with me for our first episode back after a long hiatus to make it an easy one. We still managed to talk for forever, so no, it's a gift.
We were overdue with the new episode being overdue.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. So
good. I'd like to do an episode at some point. Doesn't have to be an X Button Gaming one, but I'd like to do something with you guys. You know, with the whole Generations Behind. Now that we've done it with each one of you individually, we gotta do the whole crew.
well, we've joked amongst ourselves that we do an April Fool's video. Where we have 3 different people on the episode.
I
So
heard
maybe
that.
you can be one of the 3. You, Bird Dog, and someone else can do an April Fool's podcast.
We'll be the stand-ins, the fake Zach, fake Craig, and fake Tyler.
There you go. Yeah.
But thank you, and like we've said too, make sure you check out his content if you haven't. The Daily Beating YouTube channel, and the Generations Behind podcast, which is anywhere you can listen to podcasts, right?
Yep. And on YouTube, it's on Craig's channel at Craig's Game Room.
That's right, and it is a video podcast too, so you get to see their beautiful faces. James, thank you for coming.
Absolutely, man. Just always remember to try to be as good at gaming as James Armstrong. Never forget that. And then,
moderate skill.
Humble guy. Something I forgot to mention: Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC either just dropped or is about to drop, and that game is so good, and I'm excited for that. So if you haven't checked that game out, don't sleep on it.
I have a list of 2024 games I plan to play this year. That's like the top of the list. And when I saw it was getting DLC, I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait for. It is September, yeah, so it should be like any time now.
Dude, it's criminal that it dropped right after the Game Awards or whatever the window is that it has to be dropped in before it didn't hit that, because it would have absolutely been contended for Game of the Year for sure.
Yeah.
And now it won't contend this year at all, probably because of how the politics of it all.
It's weird, yeah. It's like, technically you could account for the. It's like no one's gonna pick a game from last December.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad timing.
Stupid.
I do need to play that still.
It's really good. I loved it. Anyways, yeah, James out.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks again, Zach. Thank you, James.
Yep.
And then we'll be back again in 2 weeks. Me and James are going to do our top 10 games of all time. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Heck
been
yeah.
a long time coming. People have asked me for a long time what my top games are, and I'm always like, I'll do an episode one day. And it's now almost 4 years. I'm finally going to do
How
an
many
episode.
Koji Mineral games are there? Are there other 10 Koji Mineral games?
There are not, but if there were, it'd be a very boring list. Oh man, I don't. Yeah, you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody for listening, for being patient while I took a long hiatus there. I like to see this episode just fly through the roof with listens because everybody's been so lonely without being able to hear us talk for 3.5 hours. And that's it. So thank you once again, and remember to always press X to continue.
So what you